miss the biggest nights in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
There's all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out.
Oh, my!
Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
That's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that! The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
He strikes. Starts as you mean to go on.
But this is the danger of the top two guys, and that nuclear weapon that is.
Whoa, hello, goodbye.
Score!
In the back of the net.
And shoots. Score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
DAZN is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going.
Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Whatever it is that happens in that ring, I'll show up and I'll come out on top.
I feel like people have not even seen 30% of me.
They know what to expect. You know what to expect.
They get much bigger than this, does it?
Hello and welcome to Manchester. It is fight night. It is lights out tonight. A light heavyweight bonanza coming up, all for your viewing pleasure on DAZN. This is the prelims. I'm DAZN and I'm delighted to have a great light heavyweight with me. The Hutch train, Choo. Willie Hutchinson is here.
I'm here. I'm looking forward to the boxing tonight now, Dev.
What's going to happen in that main event? Let's get straight into it. Joshua Buatsi, Zach Parker. It's a great fight.
I think it'll be a very good fight, definitely. Two men will be wanting to come out there and get the job done, and it's a win that for both of the men. They both want to win, you know. They don't want to. It's too far of a step back for the loser. The winner goes on and the loser comes off, you know. So definitely, the two will be coming to look to win, and it's going to be a great fight, definitely.
It feels like, you know, it's a long way back, of course, for the loser, but maybe more so for Joshua Buatsi. He's the favourite, he's the Olympic bronze medalist, all of that pedigree. Yeah. It feels like if he slips up against Zach Parker, long way back.
Yeah, very long way back. I mean, he's got to go in there, be focused and get the job done, really. Because if he gets beat off Parker, he's in no man's land, really, isn't it? And it's the same with the other one, I believe. So both of them will be wanting to come out and get the job done, won't they?
How excited are you, Willie, about Brad Ray against Lyndon Arthur? Because this place is, you're not going to be able to hear yourself.
It'll be unbelievable, to be fair. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very good fight, isn't it? And obviously these four, the main event and the one before, like the other two, they're the ones I'll be looking at. And they're the ones I'll be wanting to get in the ring with next, definitely. I mean, to me, it makes no difference whoever it may be. For my next up-and-coming fight, it'll be the winner of one of these. So, yeah, it makes no difference to me who it is, but it's definitely going to be some great fights.
Yeah, 100%. We've got so much action coming up for you on the prelims, and then, of course, over to DAZN later on. We kick things off with Jermaine Lewayo, Derek Chisora's nephew, and Derek Chisora is here, by the way. Just spoke to him earlier. He looks like the Undertaker. He's really dressed up for the evening. Leon Hughes in action. Bad Brad Casey. Professional debut of Luke Pryor. One to really look forward to there. Young Leighton Birchall, fight number 3 for him. 1/3 of the boxing Birchall brothers. And John Tom Berry. He's turned a few heads. A stunning amateur turning over tonight. Makes his professional debut. And then, of course, we have Steve Clark, the Liverpool boxer, back in action as well. So much to look forward to. Have you seen Derek Chisora here, by the way?
I've just seen him a minute ago. I never spoke to him, but I seen him a minute ago, and he looks like the Undertaker.
He really does.
Yeah,
and you're going to see him. I'm sure he's going to be in the front row. But it's going to be a wonderful night. So you are not just here to watch. You are sort of here like, I could fight him. I could fight him. Right?
Exactly. I mean, this is a light heavyweight show, isn't it? If anyone's out looking for the light heavyweights, this is a show to be watching tonight. So, and especially me, because it could be one of these is who I'm in next with. So, definitely.
What about Liam Cameron against Troy Jones? For me, that is a fascinating fight, because it wasn't supposed to be Troy Jones against Liam Cameron. Liam Cameron stepped in here to replace Daniel Lappin. It's a tough fight, though, right?
It's a very, very tough fight. I mean, the two decent lads. The same again, they both will want to win. It'll be a good fight, definitely.
I just wonder about Liam, because he's had that 12 months or so, that Ben Whittaker. His whole life has changed.
Yeah, it has. His whole life has changed. And I was speaking to him yesterday, and he's like he's on a high. He's enjoying this. He's soaking it all in. You know what he's like? He's more like a veteran than anything. He's like, I've been here before. This is what it is, you know. Get in there and get the job done. I love it.
Yeah, he's called the Cannonball, of course, now 35 years old, but if people question his hunger, he's still very much saying, I know I've got more followers, I know I've got more money, I want to keep this coming, I want the free clothes and all the clobber to keep coming, so he has to win tonight.
Yeah, he has to win. But you know what it is? It's a true saying, a happy fighter is a very dangerous fighter. And but as when I'm saying that, the two of them actually look very happy.
Yeah,
so the two's probably going to be dangerous on the night.
One that has got us talking this week, one that has got Manchester and the boxing world really talking this week. Billy Dennis against Ezra Aranyaker. There was an incident at the press conference.
Yeah, I've seen that,
There was an egg slap. I don't know if it really hit, sort of missed, a bit of yolk in the front row. But what would you do if someone tried to slap you with an egg?
Well, you know what to do. You know, if someone egged me, I'd probably laugh because it's actually quite funny. So, well, that's just me. Everybody's different. People would take it in different ways. I'm sure if it was me, I'd be getting them back in I would have to get them back in that ring.
Yeah.
Definitely. But it's quite funny, to be honest.
But we don't condone the egg slapping. We don't condone this sort of behaviour. But however, there is a real rivalry there. Sparring stories, them getting pulled apart at the press conference. They were saying, "Do you want to step outside? We can step outside."
Definitely.
They don't like each other.
No, they don't like each other. And you know what it is? I love a bit of blood with me. I couldn't think it out better, if you want to know the truth. It's fantastic. And yeah, listen, the two of them will have respect for each other. They've sparred rounds together. They've been round each other for a little bit. So they'll have that mutual respect. But when they get in the ring tonight, they'll both want to kill each other, won't they? They'll want to... It'll be good. I'm very interested in that fight.
Look, I just hope we get to see a nice, clean fight. I don't want anything weird going on, no disqualifications.
No, definitely not, no.
But
anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and anything can happen now, because the action is about to get underway. Let's head over to your MC for the evening, Thomas Triber.
Let's first welcome to the ring, Cesar Ignacio Zordo Paredes.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to the Co-op Live here in Manchester. What an action-packed card we've got for you. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, Zach Miller and Jack Rafferty.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Jermaine God's Plan Delawayo.
And here comes a young man with a bright future, Jermaine Delawayo, 23 years old, 7-0 currently, 3 of those won by knockout. His last fight, he quite literally folded his opponent in half with a brutal, unforgiving body shot. And boxing certainly runs in the family, because this is a young man who is the nephew of Derek Chisora.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to professional boxing action from Co-op Live in Manchester, England. We get things started with 4-round schedule in the super featherweight division. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors. 32 Red, Unibet, Riyadh Season, Global Next Trade, and That Prize Guy. A big thanks to those great sponsors. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be John Latham. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing silver trunks and weighed in officially at 130.12 pounds. Coming to us from Callao, Peru, he has 48 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome Cesar Ignacio Zordo Paredes. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with white and weighed in officially at 129.7 pounds. Hailing from London, England, he is undefeated with 7 wins. 3 of his 7 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jermaine God's Plan Delawayo.
Right, lads, you expect from the both of you obeying instructions at all times and effectively you both make and defend yourselves at all times. And best luck to you both. Touch gloves.
Well, here we go. The first bout of the evening. Jermaine Delawayo boxing out of that blue corner with the black and white shorts against Paredes of Peru, boxing in that southpaw stance currently in those silver shorts. Delawayo getting straight onto the front foot, getting busy and keeping the man from Peru busy with his thinking. Good evening, gentlemen. Good to see you ringside as always.
Yeah, good evening, Darren. Buzzing to be here, you know, being from Manchester, another massive Manchester fight card, and yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to be a part of looking at the, you know, the local talent and, you know, such a massive card tonight. It's nice to be a part of it.
Well, we've got a good evening of boxing ahead, several hours. I think I calculated about 72 rounds are scheduled. How many of those we'll actually see? Because we've got some big hitters on this card. And of course, that main card later on, 4-5 light heavyweight contest with some drama in the mix as well. And Paredes just landed a lead hook there. And Delawayo just stalking his man around the ring, keeping busy with that jab of his. Uncle Derek is ringside watching this young prospect who's been a very joyful fighter to watch so far. He's technically good, but he stops people as well, so he's got some good ingredients there. Still works full-time as an electrical apprentice and does shifts elsewhere as well, whilst balancing his professional boxing career.
Thinking Uncle Derek needs to get his hand in his pocket and sort him out.
Poor Uncle Derek, look. No, he was inspired by him.
Yeah, he's putting a good shift in here. I watched him just 2 weeks ago down at York Hall. He put in another solid performance, and yeah, he's off to a good positive start here. He's not rushing anything, taking his time. He looks good.
We've seen Paredes a few times on Queensbury shows and at away corner. He fought Royston Barney-Smith a little while ago and was extremely negative, painfully negative he was. And then he fought Charlie Senior and come to have a tear-up. So you never really know which version of him's going to turn up. But at the moment, he's been forced on that back foot, isn't he, Zach?
Yeah, he is. And Dilwayo's just boxing nice and smart. But like you say, you don't know what version you're going to get of this kid. If you rattle his cage, he might come for a go back, but no, he's sticking to the plan. He's boxing nice here, Dilwayo.
I think he's struggling with his range. I think he's found his range early. I think he's struggling with that.
Good work there from Dilwayo. Nice double jab upstairs and then pinged it a straight left to the body. Paredes has practically been on that back foot constantly, but just go to the jab of his own to the body of Dilwayo. As we reach the last 15 seconds or so of the first round of the evening.
Yeah, good positive first round from Dilwayo though. He's working off that jab, finishing on the jab. Yeah, he's boxing well. Sure he'll be happy with that first round.
You know, activity's been big for Jermaine Dilwayo. You said you saw him just a few weeks ago at York Hall. That was when he landed that brutal and beautiful body shot. It's important for a fighter who's young and up and coming, isn't it, to be out there, be busy and learning all the time.
Yeah, it is, and of course his uncle Derek will have told him that he wants him to keep busy. He's getting him on these fantastic shows all the time, and I'm sure he's doing the right things though while he's in the gym, staying ready, and that's why he can come out and fight after 2 weeks. You know, he's not taking no punishment, he's getting straight back in there. That's what you want at the start of your career. You want to get as many rounds under your belt, as many different opponents, and it's all learning.
You see with Jermaine, Jack, he's had a bit of a mixture. He's had those kind of small hall shows at York Hall on the big stage like this. You built your career, so did you really, on that kind of small hall scene.
Yeah, you've got to take anything you can get, and like that's what you're doing. You know, it don't matter if it's small or big. He's getting his opportunities, he's fighting, and this is where you're learning. You're learning in the fights.
Well, plenty of learning in every moment of every fight, in every round, and Dilwayo straight out to the centre of that ring, popping out that double jab. It's a good jab as well. Head and body, mixes it up nicely, changes his levels. And Paredes just coming back with a few of his own. But it doesn't seem that Dilwayo is fazed by anything which has come back, really. He's just in full motion in terms of going forward and just keeping busy. Nice shot there upstairs with that lead hook.
Good work off that jab again, you know, he's blocking and coming back. He's believing in his defences and his work. It's good to see.
That's absolutely right. They always say, you know, defence is great, but punches win you fights. He's doing a bit of both.
Like I said, their belief is he's happy to take a shot and, you know, and able to find a shot on the inside, which he did then. Mixing it very well, head and body.
Yeah, he's boxing very smart.
Nice sharp jab from that southpaw stance from Dilwayo.
Yeah, he's very tidy for a southpaw. You see a lot of southpaws these days, you know, they trickery, trying to hit the angles, but he's just keeping it nice and simple. He's got a nice tidy guard working that jab. It's good to see. There you go again with a double jab, lovely.
He's not trying nothing extraordinary, like I said, he's keeping the simple work and it's paying off very effective.
Yeah, I like the way sometimes he's standing there taking the blocks and sometimes he's stepping the feet out. He's varying his defence up as well as his attacks. Good change of pace as well with the punches.
Good work there on the inside of the pocket. Couple of decent body shots there from Dilwayo. But Paredes ain't letting him have it all his own way. Still coming back with those good stabs to the body with his jab. And giving him enough to think about. And he's got a little bit livelier this round, hasn't he, Jack?
Yeah, he's going to have to give him a little bit back. Like I said, he's walking forward, he's taking his shots and he's throwing shots. So he's thinking, I can't just keep taking this all night. He's throwing something back. Hopefully it helps with Jermaine, you know, catching something in between while he's throwing.
Paredes really throws that jab to the body nicely. Oh, beautiful shots there from Jermaine Dilwayo. This is good work.
Yeah, good work on the break there, smart. Like to see him just come over to his left a little bit more and start getting that backhand off a little bit. Lovely jab.
Yeah, very sharp.
Good tempo throughout from Diwayo. Hasn't necessarily upped the tempo or decreased it at any point. It's just been consistent. And that's important, isn't it? That work rate's good, Zach.
It is. If you can keep consistent throughout the fight, that's what makes the difference sometimes, especially when you step up the rounds. If you can hold your shape, keep the punches correct, keep switched on, that's what pays the difference over the 12 rounds when you start stepping up 100%.
That's it. I was going to say that, Jack. You know, over 4 rounds, that's not easy, but when you start going up the rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, that consistency's tough.
Definitely. You know, like you said, after the 4 and 6, you know, your shape starts falling to pieces, your shots start getting a bit weaker. So we can, you know, like you said, he's all right for 4 rounds as he steps up. You know, hopefully he can keep it.
Well, so far, so good for Jermaine Diwayo. I do recommend going back and watching a few of his fights, especially the knockouts. His last couple of fights have both been won in round 4 by stoppage, and he's a spiteful puncher, but he doesn't go looking for it. Diwayo straight out with that double jab, straight left hand, the shots which work so nicely for him. Constant pressure, putting the man from Peru, Paredes, on his back foot.
Yeah, he seemed to have upped the pace this round, you know. He's stepping in the range, cutting over, doing well. He's not finishing after his punches, he's seeing what's there again. I think if he started to put a couple of second phases on the end of them attacks, he'd probably catch him off guard.
Yeah, I think he sent something last round. Like I said, he put a lot of work in like he did the first round, but I think he's definitely seen something.
In terms of those second phases, he just kind of needs to strike that balance right, because he doesn't get carried away, doesn't he? So it's not like he's going to walk into something unless something spectacular comes out.
Yeah, that's right, and he's switched on, you can see that anyway, so...
That's it, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
He makes a decision quickly.
Yeah, he don't have to rush anything, which is good. He's not rushing his work tonight, which is great, and you know, with these journeymen, as you coming up and coming through, they don't give you much, so sometimes you just got to go off your own work, you know, you've got to make them openings yourself, which is starting to do here now. Lovely footwork, cut across, then pop that jab.
Diwayo making Paredes miss. Good head movement followed as he still just stalks him around. The corner shouting for Diwayo to come over that guard. So his hands start to come down. Good work with the feet of Diwayo there, making his man miss.
Finishes very well on that jab. You know, he's doing combinations and he's catching him off guard with that jab. Nice body shot.
Yeah, jab, head, backhand, body. Everything's calculated. You can see he's thinking about what he's doing, you know. Everything's for a purpose.
You can almost hear the thinking, can't you?
Yeah, it's good to see. It's very good to see. I don't think he's threw a shot yet where you think, oh, he shouldn't have really threw that. Everything's calculated. It's a good performance up to now.
Nice shot to the body there, right down to the solar plex. And he'll finish this round strongly. And so far, in my opinion, that will be 3 in the bag quite comfortably.
Yep. Lovely jab.
Jackie throws. I'll come back to that in a moment. We're just going to have a look at the running order, which we've got on the prelims. Got a couple of debuts tonight, and Very is a fighter who's making his professional debut. Did a lot in the amateurs. Was very unlucky not to be in the finals of the Under-19 World Championships last year. I called that fight, and he was exceptional. And he was one of those fighters who caught my eye, and I thought, I'll keep an eye out for him. So he's definitely one to make sure that you watch. But we've got a stacked card this evening. 7 fights before the main cards. And then we've got some absolute crackers on there. And then the action doesn't stop there, because after the main event, there will be yet another bout, another 10-rounder. But Jack, what I was going to say to you is Jermaine Delwayo throws really good 2s and 3s. Do you think he needs to throw more than 2s and 3s? Does he need to be putting the shots together a little bit more?
Yeah, I think it's a 2 or 3 phases. I think he can set something up with a jab, you know, a couple of shots. Then I think the second phase and third phase is definitely there. After that, I think that'll definitely punish him.
Just trying to get that timing right is Delwayo. Paredes doing a good job of trying to keep him away, but Delwayo's feet are good.
Yeah, I like the way he's just taking a small step out of range, then coming straight back to him and just gliding back in. He's not giving no ground away for no reason. See, it's a meaningful double jab backhand that there's power in the shots. It's not just tippy-tappy.
Yeah, he's not flicking it out, is he? It's, yeah, every single punch has got something behind it. Something which could be troubling. Good pressure. He's up the tempo a bit now. Last round.
Changed it up, then led to the body. It was nice.
Yeah, it was very Derek Chisora, that, actually.
Sure he's related to him, innit?
Rumour has it. Paredes comes through with a 1-2 lead hook. Delwayo just soaking those shots up. And Paredes making him work here. I think Paredes will be quite happy to hear the final bell in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, big lad, it's just a 4, I think. Back to the simple work on jab again. It's just good to see, you know, he's not doing anything he shouldn't. It's in the 4th round now. You could get excited and want to try and get him out of there with a spectacular shot, but no, he's just keeping it simple back on the jab. It's good.
We're into the last minute of Jermaine Delwayo's 8th fight as a professional. So far, definitely so good. There's that double jab, straight left hand again. He loves that combo, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it's paid very well from this fight. You know, he's landed, he's found the range of that backhand well this fight.
You can hear his corner then asking him what he's waiting for. You know, they want him to step on it a little bit more, but he's done his job here tonight.
The last few seconds, Delwayo finishing this fight in the same way that he started it, just on that front foot in that southpaw stance, putting the pressure on. Paredes is an unbelievably tough man. He would have done well to get him out of there, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would have done it, especially in 4 rounds, you know. Jermaine's had another quality performance, and he's back out within 2 weeks. He's took no injuries. He'll be back out again next week if he could be, and why not to the kid, you know? He's staying dedicated to his craft, and that was a solid performance.
He was solid. He's become a bit of a road warrior, has Jermaine Delwayo. He kind of takes fights everywhere and anywhere he can. He was on a bit of a random show in Finland not that long ago. He just kind of from York Hall to the Co-op to the O2 to everywhere. He made his debut on the undercard of Derek Chisora versus Joe Joyce in the summer of last year, and he was impressive there. But Thomas Treiber has the score, so we should head over to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, John Latham, scores the contest 40-36 for your winner. And still undefeated, Jermaine God's Plan Delwayo.
Well, Jermaine Delwayo with yet another win, with Uncle Derek watching ringside. A good performance. I'm sure there'll be plenty which they'll go back and be happy with. I'm sure they'll also be looking at things to work on. And we are ready for our next fight. So, over to Thomas Treiber.
Let's continue, and now welcome Pavel Garage.
Well, we are ready for fight number 2, and here comes fighter number 3 of the evening, Pavel Garage of Slovakia, a familiar face over here in the UK. He's been in there with the likes of Elliot Almasi, James Hawley, Tom Rafferty, among some other fighters as well.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Leon Hughes.
Incoming is Leon Hughes. 2 fights so far, 2 wins, both of them by knockout.
Second round specialist.
In the second round, yep. Second round specialist. He got a very tough man out of there last time in Ryan Labourne, so he can clearly punch, and punch very, very hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with 4 rounds scheduled in the light heavyweight division. Our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Steve Gray. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing silver, green, and pink, and weighed in officially at 174.15 pounds. Hailing from Poprad, Slovakia, he is a veteran of 61 professional bouts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pavel Garage. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing gray trunks with red and weighed in officially at 180.2 pounds. Hailing from Preston, England, he is undefeated with 2 wins. Both of those wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Leon Hughes.
Okay, boys, if I call break, I expect you to take 1 step back. Don't deliberately throw punches around the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
The next fight is about to begin. If you're just joining us, welcome along. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, Zach Miller and Jack Rafferty. And we have got Leon Hughes boxing in those grey shorts, and Pavel Garage of Slovakia in the silver and the luminous green shorts. That was a big right hand to kick things off from Leon, who just pummeled him with that right hand of his, that right hook. And it kind of caught Garage off guard there, Zach.
Yeah, he's got straight down to business here, Leon. He's come out throwing the bomb straight away, and he's hitting with one.
Come out very confident, you know, he started sharp, he's believing in himself, and he caught him with a belting shot then.
I've heard good things. You know, Kevin Marie, my manager, managed him, and yeah, he's told me he's exciting, and this is what we're getting straight away in the first minute of the first round.
He looks classy, that's for sure. He's confident, as you said, Jack. He's kind of come out of those hands down, setting things up with that off that jab, and letting that right hand follow with quite some force. And that big left down there hit the guard of Garage and kind of wobbled his feet a little bit. Even the shots on the gloves are getting through.
Yeah, he's hit his left kidney there. I think his right kidney felt it more.
Jack Rafferty with the one-liners.
Can't breathe. I'll be honest, I think this Garage is in a tough for the 4 rounds here. A very tough 4 rounds.
I tell you what, he's going to do well if he gets the end of this round at this rate, because these shots are really sinking in from Hughes.
Yeah, I think Hughes just needs to stay nice and composed, and you know the shots will come. You don't want to rush anything, but no, he's boxing well up to now.
Out of the losses he's had, you know, he's only been stopped once, so I think if he gets him out of here, I think that's another statement as well.
Yeah, that's bang on, Jack. Bang on. He's a tough man.
Yeah, I think he's got thunder in both hands here, and I think he knows it.
Garage looks wary, very wary, doesn't he?
He'll be able to see that corner anyway.
I can't see him committing to too much, Garage, as that body shot just came in from Leon Hughes.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to go very negative, you know, now, Garage. He's not going to want to open up at all, but he can't let Leon just swing away. You know, he's got to keep him in check. So he'll have to throw at some point.
Good double jab there from Hughes, just taking his time, nice and relaxed, as he switches back and forth to that southpaw stance.
Yeah,
right hand over the top again.
Shot.
And I tell you what, Garage looks like he can't wait for the bell to go.
I think that first bell will sound like Christmas.
Every shot you can see it, even those jabs, they don't look like they're too much, and then they rattle his head back and forth.
Yeah, he's happy to hear that 10-second clapper there. Lovely double jab again from Hughes. Good first round.
Good, solid first round there from Leon Hughes. As we said in the intro, both his fights have ended in the second round. Are we going to see 3 out of 3, Zach?
You never know, like Jack said before. This Garage has only been stopped once in all his defeats, so if Leon can get him out of there, I'm sure that's a bit of a statement, would you say?
It certainly would be, and it's amazing, Jack, isn't it? Like, you see these away corner fighters, these journeymen, whatever you want to call them, and it's incredible. Sometimes you watch them and you think they're not going to last to the end of the first round, and sometimes 6 rounds go by and they're still there smiling, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they feel the power of that first round and then soaking it, and they see the final bell. I don't know, this Leon looks like he's got thunder in that backhand, and I think he could do a bit of danger with it.
Well, we'll find out in a moment if Hughes can make it 3 out of 3 in terms of second round stoppages. As these guys have said,
third time lucky.
He will do very well to get Garage out of there, but Hughes straight back out on that double jab of his, feinting, changing the levels, going down to the body, keeping Garage thinking at all times. Solid jab, that is. Really solid.
Yeah, he's got a good style about him, you know. With the bigger guys, you don't really see as much flair and as much slickness, but he seems really athletic, you know. Everything's loose, coming natural. Very good.
Great sign of confidence.
Also, you know, he's on a big stage as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's people watching who could be quite influential, so you want to come out and put on a big performance, don't you?
Definitely.
Yeah, of course, a massive show. He's not far from here, you know. He's come down, brought fans with him, and he wants to express himself. He wants to look good, and he is doing so far. So he should enjoy it.
Garage hasn't got through with barely a shot yet.
I think he's scared to throw. He's put him right in his place in that first round, so now it's just a case of opening him up, finding them gaps, which he tried to do then down to the body.
Nice jab through the guard from Hughes. He's kind of playing with his man like a cat with a ball at the moment.
Reminds me of me and Jack in sparring.
Which way round though?
I think Zach's the ball. A little one.
Meow.
The cat food.
Does Hughes need to put more together than those kind of 1s and 2s?
I think the shot's what he's throwing and registering. I think, like you said, he's not got a massive output. I think he's scared to throw because he's landing in between his shots. So I think he's put him in a bit of a shell. But I think after this round, if he don't get him out, I think if he steps it uphill, but definitely if he don't stop him with a shot, I think he'll make him quit.
Yeah, uses boxing very well, but I just think if he could up the pace a little bit, and like we said earlier, you know, put a second phase on the attack. He's only got 4 rounds, so if he can just work a little bit harder, you know, we'll get him out of there.
Throws that left hook well, does Hughes, both to the body and to the head. Thrown it multiple times in this round alone. There it is again.
Lovely combination. Don't get too close either. Use that left arm to keep him at bay. Change that into an uppercut is nice.
Garage not getting any thinking time as well, because as soon as one attack ends, the next one starts, and you can see it. Garage just starts to think about what he's going to do, and then there's more punches coming his way.
Yeah, and I'm sure his corner will be asking questions.
Talking of corners, Zach, what would you be saying to Hughes if you were the corner man over there in the blue corner?
No, I think he's boxing really well. You know, he's finding some shots, like Jack said, they are registering. But I'd like to see him just up the tempo. You know, he's got 2 rounds left. Just up the tempo. I'm not saying go out there all guns blazing and stop him, but just let's put a few more together. You know, put a second phase on it, put 3s and 4s together. But I like the way he's finding the better shots at the minute. He's constantly doing something. He's fainting him up. He's boxing well, but I'd like to see him just step on the gas a little bit more.
You agree with that, Jack?
Yeah, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, this will be 3rd round now. Thinking, oh, get a good round here. I see this round out, and this last round I can do it. I think if he steps on it early here and puts a bit of doubt in his mind, you know, put some combinations and 2 phases together. You know, if he didn't stop him, I'm sure the referee will.
Well, we said in the opening round about how tough some of these guys are. And this is a good example of it. Hughes itching to go. You could see him. He's enjoying himself in there. He really is. Lovely double jab. Straight out there. Centre of the ring. Controlling the fight like he has from the opening bell.
Lovely shot.
Really well timed as well, wasn't it? That lead uppercut.
Yeah, he's having fun out there.
Garage having a bit of a go. What Hughes does really well is he disrupts the rhythm of Garage, doesn't he? All the time. He's constantly, every single time he tries to kind of get that front foot going forward to throw something, he just breaks it down with the jab every single time.
Yeah, or he'll change his guard, like you see the way then, you know, he dropped his hand. He's giving him a different look all the time. Garage had a little burst, like you said, about 30 seconds ago, and just put him back in his place. Now he's on the front foot in charge again.
Garage don't want to be there for too long, because as soon as Hughes senses that he's got his man there, he starts to put more shots together.
Tough man, very tough man.
One of your brother's former opponents, Jack.
Yeah, Tom's fighting before. He must be a tough man. Like I said, he's seen light at the end of the tunnel, you know. Not saying he knows he's got a minute left, but I think he'll think, you know, I've got to put a show away. And he, like I said, he won't get stopped. He want to fight next week, so like I said, he's putting his effort in.
Lovely lead uppercut there. Followed it up with a right hook. Did Hughes.
Yeah, just in front of us here at ringside. You can hear the power in them shots.
Like I said, then they can soak up these shots. I think if he starts using that body a bit more now, and I think it'll definitely pay dividends in the next round.
That's good. I'm glad Hughes just got back on the jab then. I'd like to see him just keep popping that more. It's been very effective, this fight. Even when he switched southpaw and popped the jab, it's been a good one.
Garage just trying to get over the top with that right hand. Hughes makes him miss and makes him pay. That's the art of it. Is that a bit of blood on the forehead of Garage, or has he just been reddened from the series of jabs he's received to the forehead?
I think it might be his nose, to be fair. Lovely 1-2.
Well, one of the things with Hughes, an observation, is he's unbelievably relaxed, isn't he? And he does that. And that's an art in itself, isn't it? To stay so relaxed and get those shots off like he does.
Yeah, I think when you see fighters who have got that relaxed style, like you see Billy Hutchinson do it and the likes of him, you know, I think you just sort of, you're born with it, you sort of adapt it from being young, you know. Leon had a good amateur career, he's probably boxed like that all his life. But yeah, looking very well.
Indeed. Well, this is all still to come. Brad Casey, the cruiserweight, 20 years old, is up next. Very, very good fighter. Speaking to his trainer earlier on, got high hopes for him. Luke Pryor, he's in after that, and plenty more to come, including one of the fighting brothers of the Birchalls, who are always good fun to watch. Well, fourth and final round Garage has done unbelievably well to not even hit the canvas, actually. Never mind be put out of there, because he's been flooded with lots and lots of powerful shots.
I think he soaked up that punishment, like I said. I think he's over to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But he started off very well.
Lovely jab. I tell you what, this Garage won't need any tea tonight. He's had jab butties all night, hasn't he?
He's filled up with sandwiches.
Well, there is that jab butty continued, and right hooks over the top from Hughes.
Yeah, round the side.
Just throws those shots, those uppercuts and hooks. He throws them nice and tight, doesn't he? Still keeping plenty of composure.
Yeah, he's very tidy, Hughes. He's not going too big with his shots. He's throwing them at a different pace as well at times. He's boxed smart tonight. I like what I see. For his third fight, I tell you what, he's a good pro. He's settled into this pro game very well.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how fighters adapt from the amateurs, especially if they've had a good, long amateur career. But Hughes looks like he's been a pro for quite some time. And there he is again with that double jab, making Garage miss constantly.
Lovely head movement and just comes up the middle with a sneaky body shot.
Garage finding himself on those ropes, gets caught with a lead uppercut there. And he doesn't want to stay there too long, because that is when Hughes seems to come alive a bit. But he's trying to use those ropes to his advantage, but I don't think it's going to work with a fighter like Leon Hughes.
No, into the last minute now. Garage there having a little bit of a burst, but not affecting Leon.
He's kind of adapted, hasn't he, to, I guess, the power almost, and he's built his confidence up enough to commit. And like you say, he's having a little bit of a go in the final 40 seconds.
As much as you get for blowing people out as well.
Just a little problem with the in-house lights for a moment there. Sorry, Jack.
As much as you get blowing people out, you know, the rounds help. It'll help you, you know, as your career goes on. Great fight.
Nice.
Fair play to Garage. Not only is he standing at the end of that, but he had a bit of a go there, didn't he? It would have been nice if he had done it over the 4 rounds, of course, but every time he committed, Leon Hughes was there and ready to catch him with something, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think Pavel Garage has got in there and he's earned his money tonight. He's got in there and he's done what he's needed to do, and he's given Leon 4 rounds. You know, he's been the second round specialist, as we said, but he'll learn more from that 4 rounds than what he has done in them previous 2 rounds, shall I say, in each fight. So I think it's a solid performance from Leon. He'll be happy with that massive stage, and yeah, good win.
Solid performance, and over to Thomas Stryber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Steve Gray, scores the bout 40-36 for your winner, and still undefeated, Leon Hughes.
Well done to Leon Hughes, and also well done to Pavel Garage, who is one seriously tough contender.
Yeah,
very, very tough man.
Yeah, Pavel will give his money's worth there. A tough man, you know, like we said before. He don't get to stop much. He didn't tonight. He got his money worth, and he gave him a good 4 rounds.
And Pavel Garage makes Hughes go the distance for the first time, which will actually take a bit of pressure off of him, because he won't be expected to knock everyone out now. He's not knocked everyone out, if that makes any sense. Just starting to fill up a little bit here at the Co-op. Fairly new arena. Already had some good fights we have in here. You guys fought in here yet?
Once or twice.
Yeah, I've won the British and Commonwealth titles, eh? What a night that was, I won't forget that one.
What have you won?
Just the British and Commonwealth, pal.
Well done.
Rumour has it, but here we go. This is what's coming up on the main card later on. Dennis versus Aaron Yaker. Those two don't like each other much at all. All came off of a sparring story which was spoken about at the press conference for anyone who watched that or saw what happened afterwards. And then, of course, Liam Cameron versus Troy Jones. Another fantastic fight at light heavyweight. And then it's a Manchester derby, Brad Ray versus Lyndon Arthur. Man United, of course, Lyndon Arthur versus Manchester City with Brad Ray. And then it's the big one, Buatsi versus Zach Parker. And over to Thomas Driver because we are ready for our next bout of the evening.
Let's welcome to the ring, Antonio Borovina.
Antonio Borovina, 29 years old, from Croatia. All of his bouts have been in Montenegro so far. He turned over as a pro in May this year, and we'll see what he's about when that opening bell sounds.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Bad Brad Casey.
And here's a young man we were speaking about earlier on, Big Bad Brad Casey, 6'3", at cruiserweight from York. He's an exciting fighter to watch, did very well in the amateurs, taking it all in as he walks to the ring here at the Co-op Live in Manchester for fight number 2 on a massive card. Great experience. We look forward to watching him. Good noise there as well.
Yeah, very good noise. Looks like you've brought a few people who's looking to impress.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the cruiserweight division. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be John Latham. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white trunks and weighed in at an even 200 pounds. Coming to us from Metkovic, Croatia, he brings a professional record of 2 wins and 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Antonio Borovina. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with gold and weighed in officially at 201.7 pounds. Hailing from York, England, he is undefeated with 1 victory. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Bad Brad Casey.
Right, what you expect from you both, your very instructions at all times when I tell you to break the bell. Defend yourselves at all times and the best luck to you both. Touch gloves.
Well, Big Brad Casey, a very good amateur, very early into his pro career. This is fight number 2 for him. Straight out in that orthodox stance, establishing that jab. He's done a lot of sparring on the build-up to this with the likes of Pat Brown, Fraser Clark, Liam Cameron. Lots of people around light heavy, cruiser, and even heavyweights. I was speaking to Danny Wilson of Boxing Science, who does a lot of work with him in terms of strength and conditioning, etc. And he says the numbers that he's hitting in training is the sort of stuff which he sees the heavyweights hitting. And said he's a powerful puncher. And that right hand, that overhand right, looked pretty powerful. Nice shots again from Brad Casey. And that's the first time that Borovina has hit the canvas there. And he looked like he didn't know what had hit him.
I don't think he wants anything to do with this, mate.
He's looking up at the referee there. Is he complaining of a...
Bit of a late shot, maybe.
One round the back of the head.
I don't fancy this.
He's looking at the corner here thinking, who have you put me in with?
Who is this?
You can see Brad there, he's raring to get back at him.
Big fella, 20-year-old.
Did it look like a shot over the back of the head to you guys?
I don't know. You're fighting, aren't you? Your adrenaline's sky high. That's what you do. You punch people in the face. So, you know, like I said.
If he's put himself in that position, you know, on one straight round the back of the head, it's nothing to do with Brad, that really. But he's going to go straight back at him, mate.
He is. Foot on the gas straight away. Meets him in the middle.
Lovely jab.
Big jab there from Casey. And then that overhand right. And then Borovina finds himself on the canvas again. And I think you're absolutely bang on, guys. This fella wants nothing to do with Casey.
Nothing.
And that is it. First round victory for York's Brad Casey.
Well done.
Yeah, very well done. You know, he's a big fella there. He's wanted to put performance in, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, he's got in there, no nonsense, straight to work, and he's got him out of there, you know. He's not wanted anything to do with it.
No mucking about at all. But I think Borovina, the man from Croatia, just felt a couple of those shots and thought, I don't fancy too many more of those, thank you very much.
Not tonight.
But no, like you say, he's been back in there, got him out in the first round. He wouldn't have learnt a lot from that fight, but the build-up of the fight, you know, the camp, the preparation, the weigh-in, there's the experience, you know. He's got his experience from that, and he's come out here, done a job in the first round, and looked well doing it.
Yeah, like Zach was saying there, he might not learn a lot tonight, but you're learning them camp sparring, you know, preparation towards this fight. You would have learned enough in that.
Well, over to Thomas Triver, who has the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 6 seconds of round number 1. Our referee, John Latham, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Bad Brad Casey.
Well, it took 1 minute and 6 seconds for Brad Casey to get him out of there. And I know, of course, he's going to be happy to get the win, but he'll be a little bit annoyed with that performance from the opponent, won't he? And I mean that with all the respect in the world. He just didn't look like he wanted to be there at all, did he?
No, I think an early shot there is registered, and he's thought, you know, I've got plenty of time left here. There's plenty of rounds left, so I'm not wanting a piece of that. I think that's what's happened tonight.
I mean, if his opponent Borovina had come to fight and actually, you know, had a go, he would have been much happier with that performance, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would have been, but like we said, Brad can only beat what's put in front of him, and if he can't withstand what he's giving out, then it is what it is. He's had an early night, you know, he's took no punishment, got him out of there, and it's on to the next for Brad now. We're back in the gym on Monday morning, probably ready to go for the next fight.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look at what we've got coming up later on this evening.
Whatever it is that happens in that ring, I'll show up and I'll come out on top.
I feel like people have not even seen 30% of me.
They know what to expect. You know what to expect.
They get much bigger in this, does it?
Right, well, let's have some predictions if we've got time. Let's start with Buatsi Parker, Zach. Tell me who's your winner and why.
I'm going Buatsi points.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go that myself. Listen, Parker stepped up, you know, he knows what he's got here. I think he was saying in the press conference, you know, I've got another kid in the way. Don't think he's going to let himself down, never mind, you know, like he might have another kid in the way, a bit of fuel for the fire. Personally, I think Buatsi myself, a points win. I don't think he's going to get Parker out there. I think it'll take some man to do that. I'm not saying Parker, Buatsi can do that, but Parker's a very tough man.
He is extremely tough. Do you think, I was looking at them at the weigh-in, and Buatsi looked a much bigger fighter than Parker. Do you think that's going to come into the equation at all, that size?
Yeah, I suppose the size could come into play, you know. Parker's come up, Buatsi's naturally been there for a long time. Whether that's going to take a toll in the fight, I don't know, but there's the stats there.
Yeah, Joshua Buatsi, 19-1. he has had spells of inactivity, but the fights which he's been in have been really good fights. That fight he had with Dan Aziz, the fight he had earlier this year against Callum Smith was a Fight of the Year contender. That was his first defeat, but no harm in losing to a fighter like Callum Smith, is there?
No, definitely not. Callum's been at the pinnacle of the sport, you know, he's been a world champion himself, he's come up to light heavyweight and he's a cracking fighter, and they had a good fight, come on, it was a cracking fight, the fans loved it, everyone loved it, I loved it, and yeah, well that's his aim in another massive fight with Zach Parker, but Zach Parker again, another quality operator. It's hard to say, you know, it's who turns up on the night a lot of the time, but I think it's going to make for a cracking fight.
One of the words which has been used in and around this fight, Jack, is hunger and who's the hungrier fighter. I feel just kind of being around Zach and speaking to him this morning, etc., like he knows that this could be, you know, the last kind of big opportunity. So that hunger really comes into this, and he knows that he has got to put on some show, hasn't he?
Definitely, like you said, I think people are going to say he's going to write him off if he doesn't win this. So I think Frank said there's big things for this person, you know, this fight. I think he's going to want that. Like I said, he's got a little one on the way. It's a massive occasion, main event. He's not going to let no one down.
Another fight which I'm really looking forward to is Brad Ray versus Lyndon Arthur. Manchester versus Manchester. Where's your head at with that one, Zach?
Listen, that's a cracking fight. I went all through the amateurs with Brad just when, like he said, he was a chubby ginger fat kid, you know, and now look at him, you know, he's here, he's on a massive stage at the Co-op Live and he's fighting Lyndon, another Manchester lad. Go down to Pat Barrett's gym, I spar Zelfa a lot there when Zelfa was there. Seeing Lyndon loads of time, we see him at the track, we bump into each other all the time. It's close to home, this one, very close to home, but it's exciting.
It is exciting. Well, Dev is with Adam Smith, so over to him.
Thanks, Darren. Yes, Adam Smith, of course, is here. You'll be commentating tonight. It's a wonderful arena, and it's a wonderful show tonight, Adam.
It's a fantastic arena, it really is. We've had some terrific shows already here, and I expect another one tonight. The light heavyweights on absolute fire, and Dev, some real quality matches from top to bottom throughout this card. Obviously, we're looking at Joshua Buatsi coming back off the defeat in that thriller with Callum Smith in Riyadh against Zach Parker, who I've always liked Zach. And I've been speaking to his trainer, Errol Johnson. If Zach is fit, if he's 100%, and the shoulder and the hands don't give him trouble tonight, it's going to be really, really tough to beat. I think Buatsi's got his hands full, but it's a big if. And the other one, Brad Ray against Lyndon Arthur.
City versus United.
Really, really good fight. I was with Brad when he won the European title against Shakan Vinners in Hull in the summer, and it was a career best performance for someone who's come up from middleweight. But Lyndon Arthur, very seasoned and solid, great jab. I thought he looked good as well against Anthony Yard in their trilogy fight at Tottenham. Was a bit unlucky that night, so if he's raring to go, maybe he could become a European champion just like his trainer and relative Pat Barrett is.
Yes, of course. So many stories heading into tonight, by the way, and you mentioned there about Zach Parker. He has been telling everyone for this fight, for the first time in his whole career, he does feel 100%. He's so confident this week. Does he know something that certainly the bookies don't? Could be a big night.
That's the big question, right? Joshua Buatsi, JB, has been fantastic in the amateurs, bronze medalist in Rio. When he turned over, we were really excited about him. The first few performances, I thought he was a world champion in weighting, Dev. However, he just sort of sidelined a little bit, and the Callum Smith defeat was a tough one to take, so he's got a lot of pressure on him at 32. Zach, he's a strange one. He's been around a decade, and Errol's been telling me, look, if Zach's right, he wins this fight. One defeat to John Ryder, you can sort of throw that away because of the hand being broken. Hasn't looked great, I didn't think, of late last time out, Zach, but if he's firing on all cylinders, I think it's a cracking main event.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's must-win for both guys. For me, it feels more like a must-win for Joshua Buatsi. As you mentioned there, Olympic bronze medalist. He's the one with all of the fanfare, all the wins, former interim world champion. He came so close to a world title shot. He loses tonight. It's a long way back, Adam.
It is a long way back, but you know, you've got Benavidez and Yard in 3 weeks' time, and the light heavyweights are absolutely rocking and rolling. I saw Willie Hutchinson a little early. I'm sure he's in line for the winner, but all the way down the likes of Ben Whittaker, obviously, who's out on DAZN at the end of November. You've got Craig Richards, Kyle Davis, an unbeaten guy from Stoke as well, who's been sparring Lyndon Arthur. He's back in action next week. It's an absolutely packed division, the 12th Zone 7 Brigade. It's always been good, but I think at the moment, and Frank's got most of them tucked up, maybe bar Ben, it's a really good opportunity for them all to sort of fight in the next 12 to 18 months. Again, the fans are the winners. We're going to have some cracking matches.
And it's a division full of characters. One of those characters is Liam Cameron. He's become a real fan favourite over the last 12 months. He's completely changed his life, Adam. He was linked to a fight with maybe Darren Till, maybe Wakey Wine. There was all sorts of talk, but it's Troy Jones. That's a tough fight.
Yeah, Daniel Lappin was meant to be fighting Troy tonight. We saw Daniel against Louis Edmondson, didn't we, on the big Wembley show earlier in the summer. Good fighter, Alexander Usyk's stablemate, of course, but he's out. And in comes Liam Cameron, and that's the sort of story of Liam Cameron's last couple of years. He's taken these opportunities against Ben Whittaker out in Saudi, pushed into that draw, that controversial ending. Yes, he lost the rematch, but it's just a fantastic story of life, and that's why boxing is so precious to us, because Liam was a great amateur, former Commonwealth champion, went off the rails, lost his way, but boxing and the Steel City Gym in Sheffield have brought him back, and he's now an inspiration to the kids. He's 35, we don't know quite what's left in the locker, but it's a really good fight. His experience and Troy's youthfulness, yes, Ezra Taylor beat him last time out, but that's only the one defeat. I think he's 27, Troy, so he's got that on his side. It's another 50-50, Dev, in a stacked card. I tell you what, a week on from the exploits at the O2, where we saw Fabio Wardley come through that war with Joe Parker, and we've got another great night here on DAZN. It's almost like you and I meet week in, week out with more to talk about.
And it's Christmas every week.
Every week.
Every week. The light heavyweight division, by the way, you touched upon it there, Adam. It's absolutely stacked right now. This is the home of the light heavyweights. Queensbury obviously pushing the guys that they are working with there, but look at that run in the middle. Joshua Buatsi, Anthony Yard, you can see Zach Parker, Willie Hutchins, who you mentioned. It's such a stacked division, Adam.
Yeah, Willie, really good performance in Scotland recently, and he'll be knocking at that door for one of these guys. Of course, he went in with Joshua Buatsi before. He'll want that rematch. If Zach Parker wins, that's a natural fight to make. But I also am looking forward to Riyadh in 3 weeks' time. Can't wait to be out there for Benavidez and Yard, Ring 4 show. Sam Noakes with a big opportunity that night as well. But in the light heavyweight division, Anthony Yard just keeps on delivering. Even in defeat, he's a fantastic guy to get behind. All action type fighter. He doesn't know how not to give us drama, and he really fancies this against Benavidez. I know Benavidez is a star, but right Anthony Yard off at your peril. And these guys here tonight, and the others, as you mentioned, in Frank's stable, are going to be queuing up for their chance. So I think this is the best division in boxing.
Wow,
and I think in the next couple of years we're going to see some absolute barn burners.
And I hope one of those barn burners will be Anthony Yard, Joshua Buatsi. We cross our fingers so much before all of that, but let's head back to the action. Let's go to Thomas Treiber.
Let's welcome to the ring, Eduardo Vera Zordo Sanchez.
Well, the action continues here at the Co-op Live in Manchester. And here comes Eduardo Vera Sanchez of Mexico, who's cut his teeth on the small hall scene in Mexico. His last few fights have been here in the UK. And like all Mexicans, he is a tough man.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Luke Iron Pryor.
Big moment for Luke Pryor, professional debut. Goes by the nickname of Iron Luke Pryor. He's a former Team GB amateur. And a very, very good amateur indeed. Let's see how he does in the paid ranks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Steve Graham. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with white and weighed in officially at 150.6 pounds. He has 16 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome from Querétaro, Mexico. Here is Eduardo Vera Zordo Sanchez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with green and weighed in officially at 147.10 pounds. Hailing from Liverpool, England, tonight he is making his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Luke Iron Pryor.
Easy Olympics, boys, okay? Record break, take a step back. No punches on the back of the head. Take yourselves at all times. Switch gloves. Front punches. Man, doing a job this. Let's go, come on.
Well, you only get one professional debut. This is it for Luke Pryor, the former Team GB amateur. He said on the build-up to this, people don't pay money to watch someone win on points. They pay to watch brutal knockouts, and that's what I'll deliver. Let's see if he can deliver that in against the tough Mexican, as he just kind of pushes forward with that long, rangy jab of his. But a good steady start.
Yeah, he's got straight on the front foot. No messing about, step straight to his man. And I'm excited to see this performance from Luke. You know, he's had a stellar amateur career. Won the ABAs. And if you're winning them, come on, you've got some sort of talent, haven't you? So, yeah, I'm excited to see what he delivers here tonight.
Good long right hand there from Pryor. Sanchez looking a bit wary there. Definitely the smaller man. So he hasn't got that reach advantage in any way, shape or form.
He's definitely got a decent test there, you know, and I think the Mexican speaks for himself. And this lad's not, he's not been stopped in 14 fights, so he's, like I said, he's got a top test there.
I mean, a dream start to a debut where professional career will be a stoppage, but Sanchez got through with a straight left hand there.
Yeah, he's waving him on there, trying to get him to jump in with something, I suppose.
Nice shot downstairs after a big horrible right to the head from Pryor.
Yeah, he threw a nice right uppercut to the body as well, and seems heavy-handed Pryor when he was in there. Then you could hear the thud on the shot.
Loading up is Pryor with that right hand. He was just taking the arena all in earlier when he arrived, doing that ring walk before he did the ring walk.
I think if he just got behind his jab a little bit more and stop brewing that right hand up, I think it'll help him more. Listen, he's a talented lad and he's got a big backhand there, but I think that jab will help him land it more.
Yeah, I like what you're saying there, Jack. You know, I'd like to just work off that jab a little bit more, or even just throw a couple more feints in there, try and open him up, or get him to throw something so we can come back off that.
He's relatively skillful as a Mexican, isn't he? He's making a miss and he's doing some good work with his feet.
Yeah, you can definitely see he's better than what his record suggests. You know, he'd probably been a good amateur back in Mexico. You can see he's got a good boxing brain, lands a good backhand then as well, and just for the grab, you can see he's smart.
I think the Mexican toughness speaks for itself, and I think if he just puts a few combinations together and, you know, makes him work, he'll definitely help him out.
Well, there we go. That is round one done of the professional career of Luke Pryor, who looks like there's some adrenaline pumping through there. Looks a little bit nervous, but now that first round's done, Jack, he should just settle down a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's going to tell him to settle down. Like I said, the pressure's off there. Your debut, you're coming out into a big arena. He's settled down now. The first round's out of the way, and get behind the boxer. I think he knows how to box. His boxing speaks for himself, so I think he's calling him and telling him to settle down, work on what they're doing in the gym, and you know, enjoy yourself.
What's he got to do, Zach, to corner Sanchez? Because he's very good at being missed, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Sanchez is he's a smart man. You can see he's better than what his record suggests. He's probably had tons and tons of experience back in Mexico from being probably a young boy. And he's in there and he knows what he's doing. And as you see, Pryor's getting frustrated a little bit. He's jumping in, he's lunging in, probably trying to load up a little bit too much, but he's got a good corner team behind him there with Derry Matthews in the corner using his experience. Probably told him to get on that jab a little bit more this round and set things up, just get his boxing going.
Well, he's straight out on that front foot is Pryor, and he has the Mexican cornered again, and that was a nice body shot under the left elbow of Sanchez. Oh, nice jab there in that orthodox stance from Pryor.
And as you said before, Darren, you know, the Mexican is the smaller man, but I think he's using that a bit to his advantage, you know.
He is, you're right.
He's leaning back on that back foot, making himself small.
Defensively good is the Mexican.
Yeah, definitely, and I think he can throw a little bit. I think he's short and stocky, and I bet he can let a decent shot go.
Yeah, you can see there again using his size. He's going a little bit low, but I suppose he's got to do what he's got to do to avoid them shots.
You can tell Pryor's doing plenty of thinking.
Yeah, you can hear the corner there just saying more jabs, you know, what we were saying before. Like to see him just get on that jab and set things up off that.
I think, like I said, he's doing plenty of thinking. Sometimes he can do a bit too much thinking. I think let your shots go.
Just be busier in general.
Yeah, bit of fluidity, you know, like I said, you know how to box. Just let the shots go, settle down into the fight, and you know, let your boxing do the talking.
Nice right hand there from Pryor.
Oh.
And caught him again there and just lost his balance, did the Mexican. And Pryor will put his foot on the gas a little bit more now. But he gets through with a good shot of his own.
Yeah, he's landed a couple of them backhands down the Mexican, but Pryor landed a lovely shot, like you say, dipped the knees in the Mexican, but just don't want to get complacent, you know.
There's a good jab there from the Mexican, and Pryor's just kind of following him around here. I think that corner of his, Derry Matthews shouting to just get on that jab, get behind the jab, because everything comes off of it. He's struggling to kind of find the right range with this opponent.
Yeah, he's very dippy and slippy. I think if he sets it up with that jab and makes him dip into a place you don't want to dip into, then let that backhand go and set that backhand up. But listen, it's easy said than done. Adrenaline's flying high. It's his debut. He want to impress. So, like I said, I think if he settles down and he shots a little bit more, it'll help him out.
Well, he got through with a right hand there, did Pryor, a couple of them.
Yeah, and the backhand that he landed, then he didn't load it up, he just threw it, no show on it, and it landed.
What Sanchez does is he kind of just sits tight, absorbs a few shots, and he just kind of pounces out of nowhere, doesn't he? And he's good at throwing those shots and then just changing the angle and then finding himself some safety space.
Round 2 of his professional debut done, but I can see the Mexican Sanchez, he is hard to look good against, and you know, it's your professional debut, you're in with a slippery customer who's hard to look good against. It is hard and it will be frustrating, but I suppose Pryor here, he's doing what he needs to do, he's winning the fight, but I just like to see him, like we said before, just get on that jab a little bit more and set a couple of things up.
Jack, picking up on what Zach said there, mentally that's where you've got to be good as well, haven't you? Because it is frustrating because it's your professional debut, you want to come out and you want to look good and you want to get the job done. And Sanchez is making life pretty difficult for him, isn't he? He's being slippery. So mentally he's got to be on his A game, isn't he? He can't lose his head here.
No, definitely. I think that in most fights and most fighters, you know, your emotions your main thing. You know, that's what you drive off. I think, you know, if he settles his emotions down and trying to impress, he knows how to impress. So if he starts trying to impress and lets his shots go and he's boxing a little bit slower, I think it'll pay dividends.
Well, let's see if he can put some of that into action. Straight out to meet his man in the centre of the ring. Sanchez boxing cleverly out of that southpaw stance. Pryor just trying to establish that jab, but it is difficult against a much smaller man who's slippery, difficult, awkward, and not giving him the dream start.
No, he's just using that little lean out of range, like we said before, using that small size to his advantage. He's very clever. He's very clever, Sanchez. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's defensively sound.
It's hard to trap a fighter like him, isn't it? Because of that height, and you said he's using it to his advantage. As soon as he's there, he's gone, isn't he? How do you keep a fighter like that there? Is it body work? What is it?
I think, feints and, jabs and, making him fall into positions. We don't want him to do, he can slip them first few. So I think if you set something up, maybe a dip, slip, feint, and making one in position, then throw.
Yeah, just do something before you throw, Don't just walk straight into the range, because as we've seen, then this Mexican can fud a little bit. He just landed a couple of nice shots himself.
He can, and I tell you what, this is a solid round for the Mexican. Doing very well in this round.
Yeah, he's not taking much either. You can hear the corner there wanting Luke to use the feet more. Maybe just stay at the end of range, pop the jab, feinting and out of range. Just keep the Mexican guessing.
Steve Gray just going to have a chat with Pryor about a low blow. I don't think that was intentional in any way. Just went for that uppercut to the body, but it certainly was low. And Sanchez shakes his head. He could have up to 5 minutes here, but
I can't see a Mexican taking 5 minutes, I'll be honest.
No, me neither. What a big deep breath, and the action will continue.
There we go.
Much tidier work there from Pryor. Two good right hands there. But again, he's trying to corner Sanchez, but this slippery southpaw just finds his way out of there.
Yeah, he does.
Straight into another corner.
I think Pryor could feint him into that position that he's going in before he throws, feint the Mexican into that position where he keeps going down to, then letting the hands go. Just got to keep the eyes on him.
Yeah, he's aiming lower with that right hand now.
If he aimed to the body with the right hand, he'd probably hit him in the head. That's where he's dipping down to.
Corner. Oh, and that was a good left down there from Sanchez. Caught Pryor and snapped his head back. And he's really making Pryor work here.
Some debut.
But Pryor still on that front foot, still got that forward momentum.
Yeah, just marching forward.
Couple of good shots got through there, a straight right hand, then got him with an uppercut underneath.
Yeah, he probably threw that to the body, and like I said before, it hit him flush in the face.
Is that the shot to catch him with? Is it that right uppercut he needs to throw a bit more?
Maybe, yeah, or just even the straight backhand to the body, it'll hit him in the body, or if he's dipping down there, it'll hit him somewhere. It can offset him, or like I said, just feint him into that position, then let the hands go, just keep your eyes on him. But he's a very, very tricky and awkward opponent for your debut, and like we said, it's hard not to get frustrated, and Pryor's got one more round here, and he needs to just stick to the game plan, listen to his corner, and do what he needs to do to get that win.
He's had a miles better round now. Them backhands, his boxing's come miles better off his jabs. He's set things up, and he's aimed low with the shots. I think that's what's great. Like I said, if he aimed to his chest, and if he didn't hit his head, he's going to definitely hit his chest. So great round from him.
And really importantly, Jack, he's learning loads in this fight, isn't he?
Wow, learn lots. That's a tough debut. That's a tough Mexican. Like he said, he's not been stopped. So he's had 14 fights. He's had 16 fights and not been stopped once.
Yeah.
Relatively unknown as well. Last couple of fights have been over here in the UK, but non-televised bouts.
Like we were saying as well earlier on about some of these Mexicans and journeymen who come over, they can be negative, but this Sanchez, yeah, he is on the back foot, but he's boxing well off the back foot himself. He's putting himself there by means.
He's playing a few games as well with Sanchez, just giving Pryor a few looks and
good backhand,
a bit of flashy stuff.
Yeah, he's liking going to his left and chopping back over to his right and dropping that backhand. And I think he's landed that quite well.
Yeah, he's going over with the front foot, as we tried to do there.
Sanchez constantly got his head off of that line, whether there's punches coming towards him or he's throwing something of his own, which makes him really difficult to hit.
I like the way Pryor took the feet out then, you know, when Sanchez put himself in a worse position than what he would have been in. Nearly landed that uppercut.
The feints are working for Pryor. He's just keeping his man there for a long enough period to have a successful attack.
Yeah.
Which is proved very difficult over these 4 rounds.
Mexican jumping in there with a big backhand. The pressure off Pryor is relentless, you know. I don't think he's took a backward step yet in this fight.
He hasn't. It's been
constantly marching
forward, non-stop.
Yep. You can see he's wanting to land them hurtful punches, you know.
Marches forward, there's Pryor. Big right hand there.
Great debut opponent there. He's going to learn loads off this.
Some good work there. He will, Jack. You're right. Nice right hand again. Good. Followed it up with the left hook. I tell you what, he probably would have hoped this would have been over 6 rounds because he's just starting to work out this Sanchez, isn't he?
Yeah, Sanchez
He's getting on top of him a little bit now.
He is, yeah. He's losing his shape now, Sanchez, and wanting to get the grab, and Pryor's boxing well now. Relentless pressure again, cutting the ring off straight back over to him.
Well, last few seconds then. And finishing this round strong are both fighters. Pryor making sure that in his head he's got this one in the bag. Ain't many people that have professional debuts like that with real tricky, difficult customers like Eduardo Vera Sanchez. But like we've said lots, he will learn plenty from that. He'll never forget that one.
Probably not a fight as hard as that in about 10 fights now. You learn loads off that, you know. That was a tough Mexican, that, like I said, he's not been stopped. He better give some lads some tough nights.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't like Sanchez was there to soak up the punches. He was there to give him plenty of thinking. Caught him with lots of really, really good shots. And a very skillful away corner fighter that Steve Gray calls the fighters together. Thomas Schreiber has the score, and now we should hear what it reads.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, accompanied by Steve Gray's opening contest, 40-36, for your winner, a successful
Well, the mic eventually worked and Luke Pryor was eventually announced as the winner. Professional debut done and dusted. He can relax and enjoy his night now.
He can go and get himself a big McDonald's or whatever he wants and enjoy the rest of the night. But what an arena to make your debut on, the Co-op Live. It's absolutely brilliant in here. It's brand new, massive show, massive card, and he's just put in a good performance and got his debut.
Looks like he brought a few people here, you know, made a few people proud tonight. I hope he soaks it up tonight. Been very proud of himself.
Yeah, like Jack said, you only get one debut, and he's gone out there and he's done the business, so he should be proud of himself.
Well, very well done to him as he just poses for pictures there. A good professional debut for the former Team GB amateur star. Going to be an interesting one to watch as times go by, as these guys pointed out. I doubt he'll have an opponent that tricky in his next 10 fights or so. So a fight we didn't speak about earlier on, before the next fight starts, is Liam Cameron versus Troy Jones. What's your thoughts on that one?
It's the people's people. What a guy, Liam Cameron. I've watched it. I was being built from scratch on YouTube. Listen, what a lovely lad. He's changed his life around.
Well, we look forward to that one later on, but we're ready for our next fight. So over to Thomas Schreiber. Well, incoming is Nicaraguan fighter Wilbert Pountin, practically unknown in Europe, with almost every single one of his fights being in his home country. So we don't know too much about him at the moment, or what he's about, but we'll find out when the first bell sounds. Well, here comes Leighton Birchall, the youngest of the Birchall brothers. Older brothers Will and Nelson making a name for themselves early on into their professional careers. They are sat ringside ready to see little brother Leighton in his third fight. The first two have gone well. Both of them have been won by stoppage, and yet another former amateur star who won almost everything you could possibly win. So far, so good in the paid ranks. And here he comes. For 3-minute rounds in the super bantamweight division. Wilbert Pountin of Nicaragua in the black and gold shorts. Leighton Birchall in those blue shorts. In that southpaw stance, straight to the centre of the ring. First two fights have both been won by stoppage. And Pountin may well have his work cut out tonight, but we'll soon find out.
Yeah, I'm excited for this performance from Leighton, you know. He's a top quality operator. I was there ringside when he boxed on the Nick Ball undercard in Liverpool, and yeah, that was a quality performance. So yeah, let's see what he can do tonight.
I think they're all very exciting, the Birchall brothers. I think tonight, 2 fights, 2 wins, 2 knockouts. I don't think he's gone past the second round, so I don't think he'll be looking to do that tonight.
Nice and slow and steady start here from Birchall.
Yeah,
just picking his shots well. Pantin having a go at the gloves of Birchall, who just soaks up those shots, and he's just looking for those gaps at the moment. Gaps that I'm sure he'll find at some point.
Yeah, he's just having a look, and he's a great counter puncher, you know, so he'll be looking to drag shots out of this kid so he can counter them and get the cleaner work in.
Nice straight left down there from Birchall. All the brothers throw that shot well.
Probably practiced it on each other in front room.
Yeah, you can just imagine it, can't you?
My turn.
I think referee John Latham just having a quiet word with Birchall about the height of that shot.
The man from Nicaragua just cracked straight back on with it. Tough fellas.
I think you've had a few of them yourself, haven't you, Zach? I think you know what they're about.
I have. In the smaller weights, you know, there's a lot of these fellas who'll come over from Nicaragua now, you know, they put up, get in there, do the job, and they're tough men. And if you're not switched on, you know, some of them will cause a bit of an upset, but Leighton looks very switched on here tonight, as he always is. Nice and calm and composed, lands a lovely backhand.
It was a good backhand, and he smells a bit of blood here, and he just puts his foot on the gas, but Pantin comes back with a lead hook of his own.
Yeah, just got to be careful of what's coming back, but Leighton landed a lovely backhand there and just jumped straight on him.
Good calculated decision there from Birchall. He could have just gone for it, but he kind of went, no, he's not as hurt as I think he is. Just kind of took a step back and has gone straight back to his boxing. Lovely body shot that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he picked that well, just dipped to the left there and threw it underneath.
He timed it well with Pantin's right hand.
Lovely
another
shot.
Straight left hand. This is good work from Birchall, who's slowly breaking his man down.
Yeah.
But a good opening round.
Yeah, it was. You know, at the start of the round, he put a couple of combinations together, and then I think he found 3 or 4 lovely measured shots, you know, one to the body and a couple to the head. Very good, very good first round, you know. He's got the Smith brothers there in his corner, 2 of them, and I'm sure he's getting great advice.
Having someone who's been there and done it like the Smith brothers pays in dividends, doesn't it? Because those guys have operated at the very top.
Yeah, definitely. It's like us having Terry in our corner, you know, listening to a person who's been there, done that, and, you know, has got perfect experience like the Smith brothers have in the corner. I think it helps out massively.
Well, the Birchall brothers are going to be exciting to watch as time goes by, because we did their last fight, Will and Nelson's last fight, didn't we, Zach?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Both of them were first or second round stoppages, so they're always like competing against each other a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we were saying that night, you know, one stopped him, and then I think Nelson was on after William, and then he went and done the job himself. I suppose it's healthy competition, you know, between the brothers, but you need that in the gym as well.
You do, and I was watching an interview with Leighton, and they were speaking to him about kind of that competition, and he kind of laughed and said, yeah, of course there's a bit of competition, but I'm not trying to outdo anybody. I'm just trying to kind of be the best version of me that I can possibly be, which is a good and a right mindset.
Yeah, you've got to be selfish, you know, you've got to work on yourself, but if your teammates are doing the same, then the gym's flying.
It was nice catch and counter. There it is again from Birchall. Just caught that body shot, then punished Pantin with that lead hook of his. And he's just starting to put his shots together nicely now. Getting into his rhythm, letting those shots flow.
Yeah, coming back well off the blocks as well with that lead hook.
You can tell this man from Nicaragua is tough though, can't you?
Yeah,
seriously tough.
And Leighton won't see much of him, like you said, he's not been over here before. Oh,
well,
lovely
this is
shot.
good work from Leighton Birchall.
Oops.
And both of them find themselves on the canvas for not punching reasons.
The corner there asking, you know, for the feints before he throws.
And just
encouraging
encouraging him to be first as well.
Yeah.
On those attacks.
Again there, trying with that catching counter with a lead up.
Oh, lovely shot there, that left hand over the top.
Yeah, he dipped his head to the right before it to offset him. Smart work. No.
Pantin just complaining about the height of that shot again. The referee telling him to crack on with it.
Leighton just stalking his man here. You can hear William, the brother, just telling him not to load up. Maybe he's just looking for that one perfect shot at the minute. I like it when he puts his shots together. He can vary the speed.
He's good at that block and counter, is Birchall. He kind of almost waits for it, doesn't he? Good work there with that uppercut from Birchall. Pantin still stood there, not running away by any means. Got caught with a decent body shot there.
Yeah, I think that definitely registered.
Oh, lovely overhand left again from Birchall.
I think he's
and he's really starting to get through now. And Pantin looked like he was just trying to find a way of grabbing hold of him, but Birchall was having none of it.
What a tough man this Pantin is.
Extremely tough. Those shots are registering, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's some hurtful shots. He has been from round one. He sold them up and gives them as good as he can back. Tough man.
But Pantin's got, you know, he's got a winning record. He's got more wins on there than he has defeats, and you can see why. So for your third fight as a professional, he's got a decent opponent in front of him, hasn't he, Zach?
Yeah, of course. He's got a man with a winning record. It's fantastic, you know, he's getting in there and he's testing himself. You wouldn't have seen much of this opponent either, like you say. He's not been over here before, he's not boxed in Britain, he's not boxed in England, so yeah, it's good to get in there. It's a bit of the unknown for Nelson tonight, but it's not the unknown when you know how good you are, and he's a very, very special talent.
And knowing what Leighton Birchall's like, and all the Birchall brothers, is, trust me, he won't want any form of rollover. He'll want a proper opponent who stands there and trades with him and has a go. And that is exactly what Pantin is doing. The penultimate round in this 4-round contest. Birchall straight out in that southpaw stance, getting back to work. Both fighters waiting for the other to throw something to counter by the looks of it. Going back to what you were picking up earlier on, Zach, with brother Will saying about not loading up and not looking for that just kind of single big shot. It looks like he's taken a bit of a calmer approach in the opening part of this round.
Yeah,
just boxing clever.
Yeah, just boxing clever and smart, you know. He's not rushing nothing. Even though it is a 4-rounder, he's boxing smart, you know. He don't have to rush. He knows he's only got 4 rounds, but he's going about his work as a true professional. He's boxing how he'd box if this was a 10, 12 round fight.
I think he's got his opponent moaning now, you know, behind the head, body shots. It's just a good sign of, you know, something's getting to him.
You're right, because Pantin just complained again about the shot being a bit low, and that is the opportunity for Birchall to jump on him if a ref's not stopping it. Protect yourself at all times.
He's getting him scared to throw a bit now, Birchall. He's too good with the counters, you know. When Pantin let one go, he'll block it and come back with something, but you don't know what he's coming back with, and it's going to be something sharp. I like the variation as well. He's not just going to the head too much. He's varying it head and body. Even with the counter shots, he's not just countering into the head. He's putting them round the side or up the middle.
Which makes him a hard fighter to read, doesn't it? Because he's not doing the same thing over and over again. Good shot selection, changing it up, head and body, body and head. So that will make him wary of committing as well because he doesn't want to be countered. Birchall just nice and tight guard there, takes a few shots on the arms and the gloves, has a look for those gaps and back to boxing smart again.
Yeah, he's gone from blocking and now he's gone to slipping the shots. He's showing his skills. And believe me, he won't be there blocking the shots if he didn't feel comfortable. Looking for that backhand over the top again.
Birchall just cutting the ring off. Not too much. Give Pantin a little bit of room as he just kind of hunts him down and slams in a left hook to the body.
I think he's looking to catch him while he's throwing hard just after.
The last few seconds.
Great round.
Good round. What do you think Stephen Smith will be advising him in that corner?
I'll be honest, he's probably just going to want something off him, maybe what we don't even know, what they're working on in the gym, you know, something like they've been practicing, something like they've been working. He might want to see something special to do with that, but I think he's doing a great job at dealing with Pantin up to now.
He's doing plenty well, but this is what is coming up later on, live on DAZN from 7 PM. Is a light heavyweight night. Lots of really good domestic bust-ups there. And of course, topped by Joshua Buatsi versus Zach Parker, which is our main event this evening. And this place will be lively later on. The crowd in Manchester are always lively. I was telling Thomas Schreiber that earlier on, actually. I said, you'll find that it'll be very, very noisy in there tonight because you Northerners, you know how to have a good time.
Yeah, we do. We do know how to have a good time. And it will be rocking in here in a bit. Like you say now, Manchester's booming. You've got two big arenas here, and it's great to keep seeing Queensborough ringing big nights of boxing back to Manchester. It's fantastic to see.
There's been a lot of boxing in Manchester recently, and that's thanks to lots of very good fighters in the northwest of England. I've got a couple with me tonight.
One very good one, yeah.
I know, thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
His name's Willie Hutchinson.
Where is he?
You went, Sam.
William.
The referee deducting a point there for the low blows by the looks of it. Leighton looked a little bit confused by that, but
yeah,
there have been a few that have gone in, but I don't think he's intentionally done it, but it does just kind of remind him to really think about where he's placing those shots.
Yeah, they are borderline, but I think Pantin's making a bit of a meal of them, to be honest with you.
Birchall just trying to get the timing right as his man commits. Just bobbing and weaving off that line and throws that left uppercut to the body again under the right elbow of Pantin. Oh, that was a really good
What a tough man.
over the top shot from
every time Birchall lets him clean, he comes back.
It seems to spur him on, if anything. Good defensive work there from Birchall.
Yeah, Pantin's throwing a few more in now, so I do expect Birchall to find a couple of openings. Like that.
He sunk that left uppercut into the midsection of Pantin. It does seem that Birchall's kind of waiting to counter at all times, doesn't he? Does he need to be a bit more kind of first and third, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think a bit more output instead of waiting for them shots, you know. Sometimes you've got to make them shots come. Don't get me wrong, he can catch and counter, but I think, you know, a bit more of an output. I think it brings something different to him.
Birchall standing in the centre of the ring with those hands super low, almost down to his knees. Confident in his ability. There's that block and counter again from Birchall. The last few seconds, decent lead hook there from Birchall, who had a point taken away for shots under the belt. And this is a good, confident end to this 4-round contest here at the Co-op Live in Manchester.
Lovely shot.
Cracking third fight opponent that. Great test. I think he's learned a lot from that.
Yeah, no, I think the body language of Birchall, he looks a little bit frustrated there. Maybe that's the right word.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, like I said, he's had 2 knockouts in the first 2 fights. I think he's wanting to carry on that. But listen, it's not all about knocking people out. You know, you've got to get the rounds under the belt. You can't just keep knocking people out, and next minute you've got a 10 round. You've not actually done that. So he's got the rounds there tonight against the top kid, and he can take something away from that.
He certainly does. Well, John Latham just waiting for both fighters to come to the centre. So we shall hand over to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, John Latham, scores the contest 39-36 for your winner. And still undefeated, Leighton, the Future Birchall.
Well done to Leighton Birchall. Another fight in his professional journey, another win. It wasn't the stoppage, but he's a young man with a bright future, and we look forward to watching him. So we are ready for our next fight. So we shall hand over to Thomas Schreiber to announce the fighters.
Let's now welcome to the ring, Brandon Gallardo, El Caballito Vargas.
Well, we've got a bit of a Mexican theme tonight, and this is another Mexican fighter making his way to the ring, Brandon Gallardo Vargas. He got stopped for the first time early this year against Hassan Ishak, but a seriously tough contender.
Yeah, very tough.
And now let's welcome to the ring, John Tom Very.
And here comes John Tom Very, boxers out of the Box Smart Elite Gym in Walsall. I spoke about him earlier on. He was unlucky not to make it into the finals of the Under-19 World Championships last year. A standout amateur fighter, well and truly up for this in the pro ranks, in the paid ranks, and from a fighting family too. Be interesting to see how he does this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super flyweight division. Our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be Steve Gray. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 116.12 pounds. Coming to us from Ciudad Neza, Mexico, he brings a professional record consisting of 3 wins, 9 defeats, 1 draw, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brandon Gallardo, El Caballito Vargas. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue, pink, and black, and weighed in officially at 115.8 pounds. Hailing from Morecambe, England, he had a stellar amateur career, and now tonight he makes his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing John Tom Very.
Okay, the cold break, take a step back. No deliberate punches around the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Well, a moment that this young man has waited for a long time, and that is his professional debut. And here we are. John Tom Very boxing in those blue and pink shorts against Brandon Vargas of Mexico in the black shorts. Very straight out there, nice and quick hands, and putting the pressure on his man straight away.
Yeah, he threw a couple of shots then, and the speed scared me. He's very fast, sharp.
He is sharp. We'll see how he adapts to this pro game. This one scheduled for 4 in the super flyweight division. Good pressure here from Very.
Working his jab well as well.
Yeah, he's staying busy. Like we said earlier as well, what a show. And what a stage to be having your debut on. He's in there, he's excited, he's going to show us what he can do.
Good work off the jab from Very.
Yeah, Vargas not offering much back yet. But Very's
no, he's barely committed, is he, yet?
Yeah, Very's just keeping busy with a jab now.
Yeah, great first round. He's not done nothing he shouldn't do. Very calculated. He's not rushed himself. He's not let his emotions get best of him. Great first round.
I like the way you put them 3 shots together then, you know, when that Vargas held his feet. It was nice. But Very's now he's doing a good job at controlling the pace, keeping him on the end of the jab. And Vargas is, whether he's just having a look or not, I don't know, but he's not offering much back.
Well, he's got caught a couple of times there with 2 decent left hooks and almost hit the canvas and looked over to his corner for a moment. Very will put his foot on the pedal a bit now.
Yeah, he was holding on and stumbling. It was a bit strange what he was doing. Maybe Very hurt him with a shot.
Sharp work there from Very. Lightning fast hands.
Yeah, left up backhand, lovely.
Mixing it very well, body head.
God, this is good work here from Very. Straight through the middle with that 1-2. Sharp, precise.
I think he's finding it hard to deal with the speed. I think, you know, the shot's coming out that fast and he's out of there, he's out of range, and I think he's struggling to return back.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see what he's throwing.
I think you've made a really valid point there, Jack, is he just doesn't know where these shots are coming from, does he? He can barely defend because the hands are just too quick.
Yeah, it's hard to read, it's hard to, you know, he's never come across a lad this sharp, so, you know, you've never been there, done that with it, you know, it's hard to deal with.
Well, Zach, as far as professional debuts go, that's a pretty good opening round.
Yeah, that's a very good opening round, and you can see why he's done what he's done in the amateurs. You know, with them lightning fast hands, you can see he's got a good boxing brain with the shot variation that he does, and as we said, Vargas looks a bit starstruck with the speed.
Do you think he can get him out of there, Jack?
Yeah, I think he can. I think if he don't get out there with the shots, I think the variation, I think the referee might step in there. I think, you know, I think his eyes were blinking there at the end of that round, thinking, wow, these shots are fast. So, you know, a couple of rounds in, you know, the referee might have to take a step in.
Well, we'll see how this second round goes, but on the build-up to this, John Tom Very said that ever since he had that success in the amateurs, winning bronze at the Worlds and multiple other titles and championships, it's just giving him that taste for fighting under the bright lights and going on to do big and wonderful things in professional boxing, which is nice to hear and good to see.
Yeah, and he's here. Queensbury have set the stage and he's lighting it up at the minute.
Straight out, nice and busy is Very. Good jab. He's established that jab right from the off.
He's throwing his shots there and he's bringing his head straight off the line. I think he's thinking, I can't return here, he's not there. Like I said, alongside the speed, I think his finding is very tricky.
Rapid work there from Very.
Yeah, he's staying tidy with the hooks as well. He's not throwing them round the houses. They're just coming nice and neat.
Great 2 body shots there.
He's keeping his shape.
Well, this is proving to be a difficult night's work for Vargas of Mexico, who's just trying to get his own work going, but every single time the blistering hand speed of John Tom Very just disrupts his flow and rhythm, and it's making it a pretty one-sided fight at the moment.
Yeah, he is. I'm enjoying this performance. Everything's tidy and calculated. He's not putting himself out of shape. It's like Very's always in a position to throw, which is good to see. Very well balanced.
The head snaps back of Vargas once again from that lightning fast jab of Very's.
Yeah, that's a sharp jab, even the jab to the body. Very good.
He makes Vargas miss. Oh, nice upstairs and straight downstairs with that left hook to the body.
You can see he's switched on, thinking about what he's doing. He set that shot up then, touched him to the head, wicked left hook to the body.
And I'll tell you what, looking at the eyes of Very, he has not taken his eyes off of his man for a millisecond. And this is good solid work here as he just starts to unravel the shots. Longer combinations, more accuracy, body and head. Yeah, and there he is again. Vargas is in a spot of trouble here.
I think Steve will be having a look here, definitely. Won't want to see too much of this.
Very good work though from Very. He's landing a lot of shots, combinations, phases, but he's not falling in.
Yeah, he's there, he's in range all the time, he's landing his shots and he's ready to return.
Yeah, and if it is a step out like he just done, then he glides straight back to range. As we see there again.
Nice left hook, straight right hand. Punches in bunches as well. These ain't single shots. He's throwing 2s and 3s and marching forward. I think he's going to be a problem, Jack. What do you think?
Definitely. I think as he matures into the pro ranks, you know, gets his fights under his belt, more experience. Like he's a problem tonight, so never mind the rest of his career.
He does the fundamentals extremely well, doesn't he, Zach? And that is so important, isn't it?
It is, like we said before, keeping your shape, keep sticking to the basics. It's a massive factor in boxing, and like we said, going down the rounds and through the rounds, that's what paid dividends down the stretch. But you can see he's got a very good boxing brain. I like the way he's just doing simple stuff. For instance, you know, he's popping that jab, landing the jab, and then he'll change it into a left hook backhand. It's keeping Vargas guessing, you know, he don't know where it's coming from. It's good work.
It is, and it's very effective as well. And the speed has been a big problem for Vargas. And if you're just joining us, welcome along. Been plenty of good fights so far and plenty more to come. Round 3 of 4 for John Tom Very in his professional debut, who meets his man in the centre of the ring and establishes that jab straight away. Oh, nice work again, jab, and then threw that right hook to the body, then turned it in to a hook upstairs.
Great in and out there. His hand speed's brilliant. You know, he's mixing the head and body. It's a great round. It's a great fight.
Yeah, it's good to see these lighter weights. They're really exciting, especially like when you've got someone like Very. You know, it's punches in bunches, like you said, Darren, and he's got the hand speed to go with it.
Yeah, he's an aesthetically pleasing boxer, isn't he? He's tidy. The word you used was shape. He keeps good shape. He throws those punches in bunches. He's blistering fast. He's accurate.
Yeah, he is, and they're not wasteful shots. You know, I know he's throwing combinations, but they're meaningful shots. They're not wasted. They're not just threw out of desperation. They set up for a reason. Four punch combination there, 2 to the head, 2 to the body. Totally different shots. It's quality work.
Jab comes back from Vargas, very straight back to work himself. Just kind of processing everything which is coming his way, making those little adjustments.
That's a cracking one too as well. He's just stepping in enough to keep him at the end of the shots as well. It's good work.
I think he's trying to buy himself some time here. You know, he's picking everything up, low shots, you know, elbows, headbutts. It's another sign of, you know, he's getting to him.
Definitely, Jack.
And he's tried to hold on to him a couple of times, hasn't he? You can tell he'll be pleased to hear that belt. God, nice. Nicely done. That
probably the best shot of the fight,
that was a very good shot, and Vargas finds himself on the canvas there, and the referee is going to make a count, and Vargas isn't happy about it.
No, that's right from Steve Gray. That was a knockdown.
Very needs to just jump on him now. And that he does, straight to the body again. And I think Vargas is feeling those. He's really reddened under on that left-hand side of his.
Yeah.
Keeps that body working
Oh,
there.
great shot again. That took his right foot out.
Yeah, the
that
left foot to the head, yeah.
Steve Gray, a referee, just having a word with Vargas, and very straight back out as soon as he's allowed to do so. Be interesting to see how they match John Tom Very, Jack.
Yeah,
because he's got bags of ability.
Yeah, but it's also, you know, he's made light work of this tonight. You know, he's against a good kid, so it's going to be tough to match him up. I think they're going to have to push him on quite quick. Won't rush his career, but there's definitely talent in front of our eyes there.
Absolutely. Well, here's a reminder of what's coming up later on from 7 p.m. live on DAZN. It is a light heavyweight affair with Buatsi and Parker topping the card later on, but plenty of good action there. A favourite of mine on that is Brad Ray versus Lyndon Arthur. Very excited for that. Lyndon Arthur genuinely has a world-class jab, and Brad Ray, he's a tough man. He went back to kind of fighting on the small hall scene, and here he is, European champion, and under the bright lights, co-main event on a massive card. Fair play to him. Well, fourth and final round, and what has been a stellar performance for John Tom Very.
I don't know about you guys, but them 4 rounds have flew by.
Yeah.
Been enjoyable to watch.
I think they flew by with the on speed.
Yeah.
I think he's going to try and listen. He set off in third gear, so I think he's going to, you know, finish off very strong here now. He's got his opponent moaning, he's got his opponent groaning. I think he's trying to polish it off.
He has, and Vargas just trying to grab hold of Very at every opportunity now. But he's got just over 2 minutes left of this if he makes it. And Very clipped him with yet another left hook there.
I like the way Very's still not rushing anything here. He knows it's the last round, but he's having a little look at his opponent, little walk round. It is his debut. He's allowed to enjoy it, I think.
I'll tell you, one of the things that you pick up when you're in a very fortunate position, which we are, is you can tell people are enjoying it, because sometimes when a fight isn't entertaining or a fighter isn't entertaining, you start to hear kind of conversation picking up around the arena, but you can just tell everyone's properly watching this.
Yeah, there's a buzz in here tonight, you know, there's a buzz around this kid, and I think that's why, you know, he's put a great performance on here. He's done himself proud, he's done Blackpool proud, and I think he'll have a couple of sugar donuts when on the way home tomorrow.
Couple of sugar donuts.
What are them?
Not too sure, Paul.
I think he'll have gained himself a couple of new fans in here tonight, you know. They've come here, watched the boxing, and they've seen this young kid come on, debut, and box like this. it's a good performance. He's definitely one to watch out for.
Solid, and that was a solid 1-2. And those punches in bunches again. He reminds me a little bit of Charlie Edwards in the kind of in his younger days.
Yeah.
Nice right hand to the body there from Vary.
And then he tries it to the head. Vargas will be happy to get this 4th round out of the way, I reckon.
I think he'll be sore in the morning. He'll certainly be sore because those body shots have been whipping in over and over again.
Under that left elbow.
Vargas complaining again about a low punch, and Steve Gray tells him to get on with it. And Vary making the most of that, jumping on him again as this round of this fight comes to an end. But that was a very good debut. Couldn't praise him any more than we have. Lightning fast hands, effective shots, really mixed it up. Got bags of ability, technically very sound as well. I'm impressed, and I'm sure Frank Warren will be impressed with him as well.
Yeah, great output there. Listen, I like to see the stats what he's thrown there. The accuracy, the output, great performance there.
Well, Thomas Schreiber has got the score, so we shall head over to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Steve Gray, scores the contest 40-36 for your winner and successful in his professional boxing debut, John Tom Berry. Let's now continue and welcome to the ring, Jose Alberto Aguirre.
Well, here comes the man from Costa Rica, Jose Aguirre. Been the distance with some good kids, from the likes of Ben Fale to Frankie Daly to Travis Waters and plenty of others. And here he is again on another big card in that away corner.
And now let's welcome to the ring the undefeated Steve Clark.
And en route is Steve Clark, looked after by the Smith brothers, managed by Paul Smith, trained by Stephen Smith. 24 years old from Liverpool, and in for his 8th professional bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the middleweight division. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring the contest will be John Latham. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 161.4 pounds. Coming to us from San Jose, Costa Rica, he has 19 professional bouts to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jose Alberto Aguirre. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with white and weighed in officially at 161.8 pounds. Hailing from Liverpool, England, he is undefeated with 7 wins. 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Steve Clark.
Right, what do you expect from you both? You're obeying instructions at all times. And take a break. Defend yourselves at all times. And best luck to you all. Touch gloves.
Well, this is our last bout on the prelims. Steve Clark versus Jose Aguirre. Then the action will continue live on DAZN from 7 p.m. This is Steve Clark's 8th professional fight. As I said in the intro, trained by Stephen Smith, who he's very much enjoyed being trained by. And he said that Stephen makes him want to get up and go training. He looks forward to it. And that is that's a good place to be.
Yeah, I know Stephen is very professional. You know, he puts everything into his boxing, and I tell you what, this lad can sell a ticket.
He's always got a good crowd of him. Former Thai boxer is Steve Clark, and then made his transition to boxing. Just loves the fight game in general. He's got a bit of history actually with Jimmy Sains from the amateurs. They're one apiece in the amateurs, both for the same weight category. Jimmy Sains currently 11-0. I'm sure those two will meet at one point or some point in the future.
Yeah.
For the moment, Steve Clark has got Jose Aguirre to deal with.
Yeah, and he's going about his business well there, Steve, you know, landing some lovely body shots there. He's got a good jab, you know, when he keeps it at range, feints him, jabs, changes it up. It's good work. I think if he keeps this Aguirre on the end of them long shots, as you see there.
Aguirre walked right into one there. He loaded up with a big cricket bowl type of a punch and then got punished with a straight right hand from Clark. It's powerful, that jab, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good jab. It's a proper ramrod jab, you know, up and down with it, and he changed it there like we seen Berry doing earlier with a left up backhand. It's good work.
Only 2 people have managed to get Aguirre out of there in his 17 defeats. He's a familiar face in that away corner. Soaks up a lot of punishment, but can give it to. He caught Clark with a left hand there to the temple. Clark just needs to be careful of those shots. He's got good feet though, so he generally gets out of the way of them. And straight back onto stabbing that jab to the body and upstairs as well. Nice shots there.
He shot variety up there very well, you know. He's having his opponent guessing.
That was nice there. Right uppercut to the body, left hook, and then rolled under that shot.
Yeah, he's picking his shots well here tonight, Steve. He's got a good boxing brain, you know. He was a quality amateur at Box for the Rotunda. You know, the Smith brothers come out of that gym, and yeah, he's developed that into the pros now.
Aguirre on the front foot, making Clark just think quite a lot here, making him move.
Yeah, he's just being a presence in front of him, you know. He's bullish, like he's rugged, wants to get in there and rough it up, but Steve's keeping him on the end of them shots. That's what he needs to do.
Everything comes off that jab of his, doesn't it, Jack? He throws it really well, and he's varied with it, isn't it? His body, head, he changes up the kind of power, the tempo, everything.
Yeah, he's setting things up very well there, that jab, you know. Like you said, he's mixing it head and body. He's bringing the shots round after it and before it. So, listen, that's how you set shots up. You've got to get behind that jab to set these shots up. This opponent's a tough fella, you know. He's walking forward with an high guard. So you got to get him guessing. You got to get him thinking. And I think what he's doing there, he's throwing his shots. He's making himself come out of range and making him miss them shots. I think he'll slow down in them later rounds and hopefully can make him pay for it.
Well said, that man. And another thing which Clark is doing well so far is he's making Aguirre miss, and it's his feet which are making him miss over and over again. He has been caught with a few, but most of them have gone swinging by his head, so he's got his timing well. The round 2 of 6.
Good work there, then just stepping the feet out when Aguirre wants to come back with something.
Aguirre's kind of got that tall stance, hands high, his body's quite exposed.
Yeah.
Do you think he's doing that on purpose?
He's just one of them tough, rugged journeymen, isn't he? He's just a tough man, you know. You can see he's just going to walk forward all night long.
I think, like I said, out of the 19 fights he's had, he's only been stopped a couple of times.
Yeah, twice.
Been in there with some top operators, so looks like he don't mind taking a bit of punishment and giving a bit of punishment, but I think it'll take some man to get him out of there. I think if he keeps working that body, chopping that tree, and hopefully in later rounds it might get to him.
That's it, isn't it? It's about breaking him down. Whether 6 rounds will be enough, we'll find out. But, oh, lovely solid left hook to the body there. Dug his toes into the canvas and wound that one in.
Steve's doing well here at finding the gaps, you know. He's finding some lovely gaps, some good shots, head and body. I like the way he just come round in there and jab to the body again. It's good.
God, brilliant left hook there from Clark. Timed that well. It was a good shot to land for a man who's got a high guard.
Yeah.
His hands dropped and he reminded him of it straight away.
Yeah, Steve just tied him up then as well when he wanted to get his work off, which was smart again.
I think Aguirre's spending a lot of energy here. He's walking forward, you know, he's taking a lot of shots, and you know, I think in then later rounds if he keeps mixing it head and body and keeps hitting him, I think you'll see him slow down a lot more.
Aguirre needs to be careful he doesn't square his feet up too much like that, because Clark will find the right time and place to land one on his chin, and if his feet aren't steady, he could find himself on the canvas.
100% Darren.
Looking at his feet, he actually does that quite a lot, doesn't he? He kind of walks forward and squares himself off.
Yeah, he just walks, doesn't he? It's not even any stance sometimes. But that's where Steve's able to work. He's putting it on him, mate. It's good work from Steve Clark.
But the corner of Clark just encouraging him to just keep pushing forward, doing plenty more. Keep throwing, keep busy.
Loving the variation.
Yeah, I think, like I said, he's a tough man. You know, he can probably take a lot to the face, so I think you've got to work that body, mix it body and head, and you know, chop that tree down and, you know, make his legs wilt a little bit.
Yeah, when Aguirre committed, then Steve landed a lovely backhand.
I'll tell you what, a lot of the shots which Steve Clark is throwing and the stuff which he's doing with his feet making Aguirre miss, it's the kind of stuff which looks easy, but it really isn't easy when you've got to put it into action, especially when you've got a big fella like Aguirre just walking towards you.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you've got a man stomping forward there at you. You got to get in range, get your shots, and get out of range and make him miss. Reset and go again. You know, listen, it sounds nothing doing that for 3 minutes, but trust me, you know, it's hard doing that for 3 minutes. You know, constantly adjusting, constantly mixing it head and body. You know, there's a lot of never mind a lot of shots. There's a lot of brain work there. So you know, it gets tiring. Never mind a man leaning on you, coming forward at you. So he's doing very well there.
And he finds that left hook to the body well as well, and it comes off almost anything, which is not the easiest shot in the world to find, never mind land.
No, it's not, and especially for Steve, you know, he's a big lad. It's hard to throw, but he's not just putting that shot there by accident, he's setting it up, you know. He might tap 3 to the head and then whip one down to the body. It's good work from Steve, he's showing that he's switched on. That jab body tonight is great. It's one of my favourite shots myself, and he's throwing it really well, Steve.
Well, there's a thumbs up from ringside, from Jack Rafferty and Zach Miller so far for Steve Clark, who's in his 8th professional contest and doing well in his career. Massive ticket seller, takes a huge crowd wherever he's fighting, and he's a solid performer, does plenty well, and I'm sure he'll be in some interesting and big fights in the future. And again, nicely done there with that jab upstairs, and then sinks that right hand into the left side of Aguirre.
I think his feet have slowed down a little bit, you know, coming forward. I think he's realised, you know, he's hard to catch, he's hard to land. So he's going to want to try and catch him, you know, with his feet still a little bit.
Yeah. Aguirre just did that classic kind of away corner journeyman trick of trapping Clark's arm on the blind side of the referee. They're masters of that kind of thing, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got all the tricks of the trade, but Aguirre, I think he's one of them who likes to set his feet before he throws, but Steve's, as Jack said earlier, he's hitting and moving, so he's not going to allow Aguirre to set, so he's not taking much punishment at all.
Over and over again, Clark just keeps sticking that jab out there, because everything comes off of it.
Yeah, he's chopping away at him, you know, the output of his feet coming forward. He's making him misses, which is very tiring. You know, keeps carrying on this great performance, and hopefully, you know, step it on them maybe the last couple, and you know, get him out of there. But what a performance at the minute against a very tough man.
And I think if it carries on the way it is, you know, it's testament to Steve's fitness. He's having to have a lot of output and work hard to keep Aguirre at bay, and he's doing well at the minute with it, with a variation and the punch output.
The punch output's very quality, you know, it's not just nothing shots or not thought of, you know, it's all thought of, punches, and like Zach was saying, it's great output.
Yeah, you're right, Jack, he's not wasting any shots at all. He's an efficient fighter, and everything he throws, there's a reason or a meaning behind it. He's not just sticking it out there for the sake of sticking it out there. But fair play to Aguirre, who just carries on walking forward. Unbelievably tough. Even gestures with his hand to say, come on, bring it on. This is what I'm here for. So going to the last few seconds of this round. And Clark has been made to work under those bright lights, but hasn't looked out of depth at any point, as he's comfortably winning this for me.
Yeah, he is. He's comfortably winning the fight, but as we said, he's having to work hard to keep Aguirre at bay, but he's boxing well tonight, Steve. I think it's the best I've seen him box. He's boxing really well. I've seen him on a number of occasions, and he's getting better.
Jack, how important would that amateur career of his be when it comes to the paid ranks and how things are going to go for him professionally? He had 54 fights as an amateur, so that's a lot of fights.
Massive fights, you know, and he's got great momentum, you know, as well as the amateur career, going in professional, you know, his professional career is going very well because he's fighting regularly, you know, that's the way you learn. You can't just fight once or twice a year. He's fighting regularly and learning his skills, because he can spar how you want, be as fit as you want, but getting in that ring, you know, that's where you learn, and that's what he's learning. Like that we're saying, then he's getting better each fight, which he's doing tonight.
He is, and he's going to be in some exciting fights in a great division, and the fact that he brings lots of people with him as well is a great added addition. But there he is again, straight into the centre of that ring, and Aguirre kicking off this round in the same way that he started and ended every round before, walking forward. Clark just trying to find those shots, got a sneaky right hand through there, but he's made to work, made to move constantly as Aguirre marches forward, and that jab of Clark's just about keeping the man from Costa Rica at bay.
Yeah, Aguirre's there to be it, and Clark's putting them together well, but he's not getting greedy, he's not staying there to let Aguirre get one back on him. He's doing his work and moving, which is good. It's smart boxing, and that one too, then keeping him at the end is great. Good work from Steve.
Yeah, boxing very well behind the jab, you know, he's mixing it, body head, you know, look, he's getting his opponent frustrated.
Yeah, he's frustrated.
Can't pin him down, you know, he's mixing it body head, he's getting caught with everything. You know, he's spoiling his game plan, so I think he's playing in Steve's hands.
You guys will know better than anyone, being fighters, when you see an opponent do that, when they kind of give those hand gestures, that normally means that they're frustrated, doesn't it? When they pretend they're not hurt, that's normally when they are hurt, right?
Never mind playing with the boxing, you know, he's playing with their emotions, it's winding them up, it's stopping them thinking about what they're supposed to be doing. So, you know, he's playing into Steve's hands, he's breaking him down with the head shots, the body shots, the variation, making him miss, and yeah, it's getting him frustrated.
And I guess that the best thing that Steve Clark can do is, when Aguirre's trying to psychologically play with him, is just ignore it and just stick to his boxing, isn't it? And just crack on doing exactly the same thing which he's been doing, because it works.
100%, just stay professional and just keep laser focused on the task that's in front of you, and that's what Steve's doing. But again, it's all experience, you know, you're going to get them opponents who want to talk to you in there, the ones who want to showboat, the one who's want to wave you on, and you've just got to deal with it the best way you can.
I'll tell you what, I'd love to know how many jabs Steve Clark has thrown in this fight so far.
Oh yeah, we need a new left shoulder after this.
It doesn't stop, does it? It's constant, which is great.
It's setting everything up, you know, it's having to think all the time. Next thing's a right hand to the body, next thing's a right hand to the head. The left hook head, left hook body, there's double left hook to the head, you know, it's having him think, then never mind after that, he's making him miss with his feet. Great performance.
Yeah, he's going through the gears, and like as you said, Darren, that jab tonight has been fantastic, and Aguirre's knows he's definitely going to need some ice.
It has been in his face and in his midsection non-stop. And nice work there with the feet and throwing some good tight uppercuts and hooks was Clark. But boxing well from all different spaces in that ring is Steve Clark. As he just sits down to get instructions from Stephen Smith. And going back to what he was saying earlier on, and I think you two are probably perfect people to speak about the importance of this. He said how much he enjoys training with Steve Smith and the gym and the environment, the people around it. And I know you guys have got a cracking gym. You know, there's good banter, it's a great atmosphere. That's super important, isn't it?
It is, it's massively important. And when I first went to the gym, Jack was already there a couple of months before me, and when it was a bit daunting, you know. You've got Terry Flanagan there, he's a world champion, Liam Taylor, who just beat Tyrone Nurse, looking to push on for a British title. Jack was there, and it's a bit daunting, but you become like family, and the experience that you get from being around them people, it's second to none. You can't buy experience, as people saying, you really can't.
Success breeds success, Jack, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a snowball effect, and I think that's what means I can do with cheering each other on, getting my brother there. Terry's been there, Liam's been there, and yeah, we're going to hopefully fly the Manchester flag.
They say a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. That's what Liam Cameron's been saying this week. He's in a really good place, him up against Troy Jones later on. And that main card starts at 7 PM live on DAZN.
Yeah.
This is our last bout on the prelims this evening. And this is the penultimate round of this one between Liverpool's Steve Clark and a man from Costa Rica, Jose Aguirre, who has marched forward every moment of every second of this fight so far. I must have taken about 500 jabs, and I'm not over-exaggerating.
Yeah, I think at the start of the last round as well, Steve started to throw some short body shots inside, like as you've seen there. I think he's realised that he's not going to hurt this man to the head, so he's thinking a few more downstairs, which is smart.
He's open to those hooks to the body, isn't he, Aguirre?
Yeah,
because he's got that big, tall guard.
I think that's why Steve, you know, he's touching him upstairs and whipping him downstairs, keeping the jab down there as well.
Like I was saying before, this fella will take him to the head all night. You know, you've got to make that body weak, mix it head and body, which you're doing very well. And yeah, then body shots hurt.
And just as you said that, Jack, he got him with a nice right uppercut to the body. This is good boxing from Clark.
Yeah, it's a very good performance, this, but what a tough man this Aguirre is.
And he's not just walking forward, Aguirre. I know the shots he's throwing aren't massively effective, but he's throwing at least, isn't he?
Yeah, when
it's not like he's just soaking them up and then carrying on.
No, I think he's trying, isn't he? You know, he wants to have a go and get there, but Steve's just keeping it long with him, moving his feet when he wants to engage. It's smart. I think that's why he's getting frustrated.
Aguirre having a bit more of a go in this round. He just complains of a low blow. John Latham, the referee, just calls time out for a second to give him a minute to recover. Straight back to it. Nice work, long jab there, right hook to the head from Clark. Beautiful left hooks.
Yeah, it's been some great shot output this fight, you know, head, body, jabs. He's had a cracking performance.
I'll tell you what, this evening so far has absolutely flown by for me.
Yeah, I was just going to say
this is
the
our
same.
7th fight so far.
Yeah, it's been a very, very good card up to now. Very good. Some good talent on display.
Clark just got clipped there, the right uppercut from Aguirre. But still plenty more to come. And this is what is to come. What do you think about that first fight?
I think it's a very good fight. The lads are very local. Billy lives a mile from my house. Ezra used to train with Jack's brother Tom. And yeah, they've both been at our gym sparring over the years. And yeah, I think there's a bit of, never mind a bad egg, I think there's a bit of bad blood there between them both.
It'll be an excellent fight, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be an excellent one, I think.
You know what boxing's like? That some people say it's like a small village, you know, some of the things which go around the stories.
Yeah.
But you being Manchester-based boxers, you must have heard the sparring story which was spoken about at the press conference between Deniz and Aranjeka.
There's about 25 different versions of it, I think. But
tell us the most entertaining.
Well, I'll sugarcoat it to the nines if you really want. I'll tell you the answer with there a lot. But anyway, let's get on with Steve's last round here.
But a sixth and final round of this one, and the sixth and final round of the prelims. Clark just continuing to establish that jab and go with that left hook to the body over and over again. Shots which have worked for him throughout the fight, throughout the rounds.
Steve looks like he's holding his feet here a little bit more. You know, sending his opponent back.
Do you think Stephen Smith might have told him to have a go at getting him out of there?
He's stepping on the gas, you know. Listen, empty it, you know. You're not being reckless, which he's not being. But I think he hopes to put a close on the show.
I like the way he's not done anything out the ordinary, you know. He's just stuck to his boxing, stuck to the plan, and he's looked really well doing it. Like we said before, it's all about staying composed and keeping that shape, which will help you down the rounds. And that's what he's done tonight. He's looked really well.
Had good shape throughout, has Clark, who looks mega focused and landed a decent 1-2 there, straight through the middle of the guard of the man from Costa Rica, Jose Aguirre, and a lovely left hook to the body and rolls under the counter left hook. Did Clark.
Yeah, like you say, Darren, you know, he's been laser focused and switched on, and that's how he's rolling out of shots like that after his. That's somewhat probably what they practice in the gym. It's probably his body just reacting to what they do, you know.
Just second nature, isn't it? It's just over and over again.
Even the step back then with a 1-2, you know, he probably practiced that on the pads.
Yeah, it's training ground stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, like Zach was saying there, it's learning stuff in the gym, never mind winning the fight, and you know, rather or getting a stoppage, but it's about doing what you're doing in the ring, what you've been doing in the gym. You know, that's about fighting as well. You know, learning and listening to things off your coach and being able to do that in the ring, because you can't listen to your coach or listen to things what he says or do things what you're supposed to do in the gym. In the ring, you know, it's going to be an hard time. So I think it looks like he's been practicing a lot and he's put it in the ring tonight.
It's bang on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one thing doing it on the bag or doing it on the mitts or whatever it is, or even doing it in sparring, but when you're under those bright lights with lots of people watching, both at home and in the arena, it's a completely different ball game. But he's putting it off. A good performance as we go into the last 40 seconds of this bout. Aguirre isn't walking forward like he was before. I think he started to tire a little bit, which is completely fair enough. He's taken some shots tonight.
Yeah, he's not through so much, but getting it with them shots all night off Steve it's going to take something out of you. Steele wish this an 8-rounder. Lovely backhand.
It was nice. He threw that backhand, then just circled round, making sure that he was out of the danger zone. The last few seconds, and Aguirre charging at him now. Clark just keeping his man under control. And in my opinion, he's won every single round there and won them comfortably.
Yeah, he enjoyed that performance there from Stephen. Like I said earlier, he's getting better.
Momentum's paying off there, you know, he's fighting regularly. He's listening to his coach. I think it's the best shape I've seen him in his fighting career. So, listen, like I said, he's doing things right. He's obviously listening in the gym and getting the rewards of it and getting another cracking win tonight.
Right, well, Thomas Triber has got the scorecard of John Latham's, so we will head to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, John Latham, scores the contest 60-54 for your winner and still undefeated, Steve Clark.
Well, Steve Clark remains undefeated, another win on his record. We've had a cracking card so far, 7 fights on the prelims, but there is plenty more live on DAZN from 7 p.m. So from us, it's good evening, but make sure you switch over to DAZN from 7 p.m. onwards.
Whatever it is that happens in that ring, I'll show up and I'll come out on top.
I
feel like people have not even seen 30% of me.
They know what to expect. You know what to expect.
They get much bigger in this, does it?
Don't miss the biggest nights in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
There's all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out. Oh, my! Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
That's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that! The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
He strikes. Starts as you mean to go on.
But this is the danger of the top two guys, and that nuclear weapon that is.
Whoa, hello, goodbye. Score! In the back of the net. And shoots, score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
DAZN is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going. Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
Don't miss the biggest nights in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
There's all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come in here and give it their all.
Have a real nice tempo. Goes baseline, watch out. Oh, my! Oh, baby! All the way down the runway for a big-time throwdown.
That's a lot of fans out there.
Look at that! The drama keeps continuing, Jenny.
This is just brilliant.
He strikes. Starts as you mean to go on.
But this is the danger of the top two guys, and that nuclear weapon that is.
Whoa, hello, goodbye. Score! In the back of the net. And shoots, score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on DAZN.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep, for it all, Devontae Smith! He has got it! Touchdown!
Your Eagles are world champions again!
The Zone is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going. Let's make it